What's up, everybody? I'm Jeremy, and you're watching Warfels Morphs. Tonight, I'm excited, everybody. I'm sure everybody in the chat is excited. We have Brian Kusko from Triple B joining us. I'm going to say a dream come true. I admire Brian. I look up to him. I'm sure a lot of you in the chat do as well. He's just such a positive influence on our industry and hobby. So let's just bring him out. We have a slight time restraint, about an hour roughly. So we're going to bring him out, and we're just going to get right to it. Mr. Kusko.
What's up, man? I appreciate you working with
brother.
my time. Cheers, man. Cheers. I appreciate you working with my time constraint. I keep a pretty busy schedule.
That's one thing I want to ask you about too tonight is how you do it all. Before we get into it, though, I want to because since we're going to kind of run through this at a decent pace here, because you saw the list of topics I'd like to hit.
I'm going to do my best to. I think I looked at all the questions. I knew I have like at least the topics you wanted to hit. I'm going to try to do like 3 minutes per topic, and then we should be able to hit them all if I do that.
Hey, if we don't hit them all, dude, that just means I have an excuse to ask you to come back on again.
Hey, fair enough.
That's what I always tell. Like I've told Billy that. I've told Austin that. I just kind of, it's like, those guys that have like they're really busy. It's like, hey, if we don't get to everything, maybe you'll come back on again. So, all right, let's take a minute to thank the sponsor of this week's episode.
And this episode is sponsored by GP Snakes. Gershon is an amazing person that cares deeply about the community and hobby. He's a ball python breeder focused on the albino clown project, and as he always says, anti-everything, which I have to totally agree. He also runs a YouTube channel where he uploads videos on a regular basis. One of the series he runs on that is called Next Up, where he brings new breeders that just starting their journey in YouTube, brings them on and helps them get some traction, introduces them to his subscribers, and hopefully his subscribers find the new people interesting and sub to them as well. It basically helps the new people get some traction in the YouTube algorithm and helps ease that grind in the beginning. He also runs an amazing live stream called Under 1,000 Pod, where he gets different breeders in the hobby, brings them on. They talk about what they work with, how they started their journey, and where they're going in the hobby and or industry. It's a really awesome podcast. I highly recommend you tune in and watch it. Make sure to check out Gershon's social media. All of his links are in the description down below. He's producing amazing snakes and setting an amazing example for all of us in the industry and hobby. I can't say enough good things about Gershon. He's an awesome dude, and I consider him a very good friend. Thank you, Gershon, for sponsoring this episode.
Awesome.
So thanks, Gershon. And like I said, all of Gershon's links are in the description. All of Brian's links are in the description. So make sure you check out his Instagram and both of his YouTube channels because I enjoy both of the channels. I know you had that one video you were not sure how to split it up or something like that. You were afraid that having more family stuff on the reptile channel was hurting the reptile channel or something.
Yeah, it was a decision to switch between Triple B TV was the first channel I started on YouTube, and then doing more vlog stuff versus I'd make a lot of like care videos and some updates on snakes, and then going to just more lifestyle stuff.
See, I enjoy the lifestyle. Like I enjoy seeing like the kids in it.
Well, so does everybody, it seems, because the vlog channel is the most successful channel that I've got 4 channels going on YouTube right now, and the vlog channel.
I didn't even know
vlog channel.
The
vlog channel has been and is continually the most successful channel on YouTube, which is great because it's also my favorite channel to produce. So it's really a blessing that's worked out that way. That channel that I love so much and what I put my actual heart and soul into is the one that gets the best response from viewers, and it's great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Great. So also, everybody that's new to the chat, I'm sure that there's some new faces in the chat there. If you don't mind, hit the subscribe button for me as well. Hit that notification bell so that way you learn the next time I drop content. We've got a clutch cutting coming up. First clutch of the season is due to be cut tomorrow, so that'll be coming out in like a week or two. That video. So there's a lot of neat stuff happening here in a very short amount of time. So let's just get into these questions, Brian. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you into the hobby.
I got my first pet snake when I was 4 years old. because I was really into dinosaurs, and this California king snake crawled through our backyard at that time, and we determined it was, my dad determined it was non-venomous and we could check it out and handle it. And it turned out to be the neighbor's escaped pet snake. And our neighbor was this like Hell's Angels type of character, and his name was Snake. And his living room looked like, you know, your average reptile room today. This is back in 1985.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, dude, Dad, I was like 4, you know, like, he's living with dinosaurs. Like, why aren't we doing this? So my dad was cool enough to get me a pet snake at 4 years old, and I had a hiatus, you know, when I was in my mid-20s, living in Hawaii, playing in a band, and then when I came back to the mainland and decided I wanted to keep reptiles again, like I did for a good portion of my life, there was now the internet, and I mean, the rest is history.
Dude, is it true that you're not allowed to have like snakes like that in Hawaii?
Absolutely. There's probably some kind of loophole you can work around, as there is with most things. But it's got to be one heck of a loophole. I've never looked into it because I wasn't really that interested in trying to work around any kind of loophole for that in Hawaii. I worked all kinds of other loopholes in Hawaii. But, you know, it's pretty much, they don't want what happened in Guam to happen there. You know, the brown tree snake came into Guam and basically decimated the entire native bird population. So you went from a forest of like all these native birds, you know, doing all these songs, and now it's like quiet at the Guam forest. So they didn't want that to happen there. But, you know, the idea of invasive species is always crazy to me a bit when it's humans take a lot of, I don't know what, liberties. It's like, we are the most invasive species this planet has ever known.
I was on the same brainwave.
So
I was
like,
yeah, I know exactly what you mean, dude, because that's one thing I've always thought, because I do excavating for a living. So I see tons of beautiful areas go from fields and woods to houses. And it's just like, it hurts sometimes. It's like, why are we doing this?
Industry. And just roads. I don't know, the car wouldn't be able to drive back there. If, you know, cars are pretty convenient.
Yeah, but I don't know if I really need to be back into that beautiful area. I can walk there. I'm okay with walking.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be totally fine with that. Honestly, I mean, I appreciate cars because I know them. They're part of the world we live in, and they're convenient. They get you from A to B quickly. I have no doubt that if I lived in a world where cars didn't exist, I wouldn't feel like, oh, I'm not getting here fast enough. I see people in third world countries that, you know, we've been fortunate enough to go to some places that haven't seen cars, and they're not depressed about it.
No, yeah, they don't know any different. You're right. I told you I had a surprise question that wasn't on the list. Now, in your videos, a lot of times I notice like you're using your drone, but you're still on your one wheel. Okay. Are you flying the drone while you're running the one wheel, or is someone else doing it?
Sometimes. It's funny because I was watching my buddy Adam Wickens put out a video on Instagram today where he was flying his drone, riding his one wheel.
Okay, see, all right, I didn't get to watch that one yet.
He was clearly flying it because I could see him working the controls, you know, in the video. And so, yes, sometimes the drone I have does have some pretty cool software. Will automatically track you. And that's good for a good amount of shot. It works really well for some stuff, but sometimes that automatic tracking doesn't do the job you want it to do. So there are times when I am flying my drone while riding at the same time. Not something I would recommend.
I was going to say, because I just had this, like, I was going to ask you, what number drone are you on, and how many times have you wrecked, like, looking at the drone, then you look, yeah. I just
remember the first one, and it goes back to your first question about, you know, the first comment about the different channels. When I first started the vlog channel, was right before I left on that epic Indonesia trip with Brian Barczyk, and that was the first time I crashed a drone. It was like day 4 of that trip, I think. We're standing out front of this hotel in Jakarta and early morning, and I'm flying the drone along this river, and I wanted to get this cool shot of it going up the river and flying over the bridge, and it wouldn't, because it has this great anti-collision software, but it was working against itself because there was nothing that was going to collide into. There was something some like fountain thing down the river that it was like, oh, I'm not going to go past here because it was just stopping itself from flying forward. So I put it into sport mode, which turns off the anti-collision software and all the sensors on the front, so that I could be like fly right through it, because I could tell I wasn't going to crash into anything. That it, no, well, you know, so I crashed it, because it also, when you put it in sport mode, it also goes twice as fast. So all the practice runs I was taking were going at half speed. So I had way too much speed, didn't clear the bridge, and the drone just exploded into the bridge in the early morning. And I gotta give a shout out to Brian Barchek here on this, because he's standing there watching it happen with me. Just bam, explosion, and he just looks at me and he goes, "Oh, dude, I'm sorry, man. You know what? It's okay. You can fly my drone. You can use my drone." I was like, dude, you see what I just did to mine? And he's like, he didn't care. He's like, sorry, you can use mine, even after he just witnessed me destroy mine. But I to answer your question, I think I'm on drone number 6 or something. Thank you, Christopher Sexton, my buddy. Heli Guy Serpents. That guy has kept me in the sky. True to his name.
I love that story, dude. That is great. I can just imagine your face. Like, you probably both like looked at each other with your jaws just dropped, like, that just did not happen.
I think he felt worse about it than I did. I mean, I felt bad, but he was like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "Oh, you know, it's okay." I did it to myself.
Well, I do remember the one episode you were out on vacation on a boat somewhere. I think you were out with your mom and dad and stuff.
Probably my uncle. You talk when I crashed it into the mountainside?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you like lost reception with it or something, and it just kind of like.
Well, it wasn't that it lost. Well, I mean, there's been when it went into the lake.
All right, see, I'm thinking
I've crashed. when you say, remember that time you crashed a drone? I'm like, oh.
I could swear like you flew it. You were on the boat out in the water, and it went into the inland somewhere and just
into the mountain.
I don't know.
Okay, that was up here at Lake Nacimiento. Yes, I was flying it sideways. So that drone, which is not, I don't know if it's true of the drone I have now or not. I haven't tested it that hard, apparently. So they didn't have sensors on the side. So I was doing like a sideways shot, and I crashed into the side of a mountain.
Okay.
Got it back, climbed up the mountain and got it back.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of then, because I think I remember you filming of you getting it back yet.
But let me say this. If you don't crash your drone ever, it means you're not pushing your capabilities hard enough to get the ultimate shot. That's what that means.
And dude, you do get some crazy shots. There is no denying that, dude. You get some really wicked shots.
Just yesterday, I was getting a shot of my kids flying their kites out of the beach, and I got not ridiculously, but what is the word? Not uncomfortably, but unnecessarily close to the kite. That's what
Now, is that the one with the beach there?
That hasn't come out.
When
yet.
You guys always go to the
it's in Morro Bay. Yeah, that video will be out tomorrow.
Okay. It's like the 3 something.
The 3 stacks in a rock.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. See,
you watched some videos. You watched a good number of videos.
I have to, like, when I first started following your channel, Noah was missing his 2 upper front teeth, and it seemed like because my wife would watch it
forever.
It was like
walking
forever.
Christmas cliche. He was a Christmas cliche for 2 Christmases. So yeah, it was a long time.
Okay, I see. It seemed like it was a very long time. I didn't realize it was that long though.
Well, neither of them came out from natural causes. You know, it's not like he just lost them because the other ones were coming in. He knocked both of them out in separate instances.
Oh man, yeah. Like I've been watching since then, and when you would have Leia on, you'd ask her, "What do you know?" and she'd just give you like the look, like, "What are you talking about? Go away."
Dude, now she's my ultimate co-host, dude.
Dude, I love the episodes with you and her. I absolutely love it because my daughter's 2, and she is obsessed with the snakes as what Leia is. So when I see how you two are interacting in the snake room, that's how I'm envisioning like the next years going on for me and her. So dude, it's great.
Best. It's the best because snakes are demonized in our culture and in cultures around the world. And so when somebody sees a little girl who's in a princess dress that could be playing with Barbies and ponies and is, but also loves snakes
Yep.
and calls them cute. Like that's good for snakes.
Oh, it is. It certainly is. And I have to give her props too, because she's gotten bit a couple of times and
Oh
it didn't
yeah.
stop her.
Oh yeah, no, it didn't stop her at all, man. She says, she still to this day says June the worst bite she ever took was a feeding response bite from Junior. She had been holding chickens, and I didn't know that she had been holding the chickens, and then they just smelled chicken on her and kind of grabbed her right on her chest in a feeding response bite. And it was a decent sized snake.
Yeah.
But she'll still say, Junior just made a mistake, and he did. It's true.
Yeah.
I made a mistake. The ultimate mistake lies on my shoulders. I should have known better, or should have asked, has she been holding the chickens? And I just wasn't, doing my due diligence as a father in that moment to completely keep my child safe. But it did. The fact that it didn't stop her, is pretty awesome.
Yeah. No. I think I almost comment every time when she's in the videos here recently. Like it's fun to see her in there. She adds that comical. Like the one video was kind of like a very deep video. It was about your one clutch that went bad, and like it was a very deep, heavy-hearted video
for me, not for her.
You, but for her, she was just like added this happy-go-lucky, like so innocent. Like I couldn't help but I felt bad, but I was laughing at the same time. It was great. She adds that level of spice to it. I enjoy it.
I appreciate it, man. I'm thankful that you love it as much as I do, because it's my favorite. I mean, that's the big thing about these videos, and that's why I'm so blessed that the vlog channel is the most successful channel that I've put out, because that's where all the memories are stored of my family growing up, and it's that is priceless.
Exactly. And years down the road, and this is one thing I look at too, is like when you're gone and I'm gone and they're still here, hopefully the internet's still here, they can go back and relive all of this stuff. And
hopefully there's not some EMP that takes out all electronics, because even if the internet's gone, I've got all that stuff saved on hard drives. So if the internet's gone, I still have it at least physically on drives.
Okay, see, that's smart. I don't have that. That's very smart.
I used to delete everything. There was a time when I deleted everything to save space, because there's so much hard drive space out there in the world. Now I keep everything, even all the raw footage. I have all even the edited videos there, of course, and then all the raw footage that went into that video is all saved on hard drives as of like 2017, I think.
Okay, dude, that's smart. I should actually probably really start thinking about doing that.
Not a bad idea.
Everybody in the chat, just so you know, since we're kind of cruising through this a little bit, I'm really not paying attention to the chat a whole lot. I do apologize. I just want to try to get down through a bunch of this stuff. So I do apologize ahead of time if you guys I'll try to pay attention to it. I'm just trying to work through a lot here, so I do apologize.
Ooh, I'm just looking at the chat now too. Will's Hella Heat. That's got to be a Northern California channel right there. It's got to be.
I don't know where Will's from. I don't know. I know there's a lot of East Coast people right now. I know John's in Inquiline there, which is John. He's in Colorado. So a lot of people, everybody's kind of spread all throughout, and we're at 31 viewers. So thank you everybody for tuning in. If you're not subscribed already to Brian or myself, make sure you do. All of Brian's info is in the description down below. But I don't see how nobody can be following this man. Like I really don't.
Well, Creative Genetics picked up a snake from me in person the other day. We met out at on the road.
Oh, nice. That's cool, dude. I actually was at a show yesterday at Gettysburg, and it was neat to be like, I wasn't vending, I was hanging out with some friends that were vending, but it was neat to see or have people come up and be like, hey, you're Jeremy from Warfels Morse. And like, I'm still not used to this yet by any means. And I was like, yeah, like kind of like, how did you know that? And they're like, I watch your YouTube channel all the time. It's like, Oh, okay. It's like, well, thanks. Like, it's just not something that I figured would ever happen to me like that.
Gettysburg too. What a place. We don't have anything as historic as Gettysburg out here, being on the West Coast. We're still in the Wild West out here.
So, what species are you working with, Brian?
When it comes to working, mostly ball pythons. That's what I got into it with as far as deciding to breed. And I've produced a couple of python bronchers in my clutches with my buddy Travis Johnson over at Living Legless Reptiles. And that's it as far as species. But I have, a plethora of different snake species, whether it's, I got a carpet python, I got scrub pythons, got some Germicon cooperi, got I really like a Somalia king horn eye. That would be epic. The northern scrub pythons, that would be really cool. I love snakes. Snakes are my favorite, and I've got a bunch of different species. I'm not working with them per se. I just have them for my own enjoyment, as well as having a variety for educational purposes for shows and such. I've got tegu and some leopard geckos. I had a crested gecko that I got from my buddy Riley that was awesome, but we had the power go out one day and it got really hot down there, and I think it just was too much for him. So that was a bummer. He's a wonderful crested gecko. It's just a bummer and stuff like that.
And you've got some beautiful retics, dude. Like, do you ever plan on breeding those things? Because they're absolutely gorgeous.
I did one pairing because my male junior really was throwing up some crazy arches and was just clearly like, I need to get to one of these females. And I was like, okay, dude, I got you. And so we made a plan because I had gotten to it originally. Marita. I got into it originally because I was going to breed, and that was the plan from the start. And then I just got turned off by how many people I was seeing getting a retic for a year or two and then getting rid of it because it was too big. And so I was like, I don't want to produce any. But with this one, I was like, okay, well, here's what we're going to do. We will breed these, and we'll take the clutch, and we'll just take the number of eggs that we think we can find responsible homes for, or that we can, verbally get responsible homes for, and then feed the rest off to the tegu or just as food to other animals. Instead of, and we felt like that was the most moral thing we could do, instead of waiting for them to hatch and deciding which morphs, which snakes were the best, and then feed off the snakes that we didn't want. Figured feed the eggs off and not use, whichever snake had the most monetary value, or kept keeping those, and just kind of leave it up to nature and just do a random selection and just keep the number of eggs that we knew we could find responsible homes for. And and that pairing didn't yield anything as of yet. But.
Oh, okay. Now you have had some success breeding blood pythons, though, which I think is like, I used to have a blood python years ago. I called her Grim. She was like 6 foot, 26 pounds. She was a beast. But I think Sangria by far is probably a little bit bigger than that, or at least she looks like that.
The biggest blood python I've ever seen named Danielle, and my late buddy Forrest picked her up from Garrett over at Richard Reptiles. And it's massive blood python. It was the biggest one I've ever seen in my life, and she was huge.
Now,
blood pythons are cool?
They are, dude. I love the bloods. I think I like the Sumatran short tails a little bit more. Just the dark and the chrome head. I don't know. There's something about them that they're just impressive.
My buddy Matt over at O'Malley's Morph sent me a orange head, and it's a pretty sweet snake, dude. If you're looking for short tails, my buddy Matt, dude, he's newer to it, but he's gotten in with the right folks in the short tail world. And he's also a really cool guy. He's like a brother of mine. So.
Sweet. Now, do you like? Because before you were partnered up with a guy, I can't remember his name. I'm
Travis.
Terrible with, but you were partnered up with this dude, and I guess he had the male, and you had Sangria. Now
I still got his male.
Okay, you're still using his male then.
Yeah, I've held on. Actually, they're paired up right now. He used to live in the same county as me, just up the road. He moved to Tennessee last year. So he's out there doing it in Tennessee, but he left the male here, so we're keeping that going.
Nice. That's really cool. Now, do you plan on breeding any of the other snakes, like the indigo? I know everybody loves indigos.
Yeah, I mean, the plan was definitely to produce some indigos. Unfortunately, my male got carcinoma, and it was very aggressive, and he was gone very quickly,
Oh,
unfortunately. And is unfortunate because not just because of the project or the breeding, but he was the best snake at the educational shows. Like he was just so good about just sitting there, letting the kids hold him, and he would just kind of cruise. And he's such a, I mean, indigo snakes, all the Drymarchon uh, keepers at zoos that work with venomous animals that can't keep a venomous animal at home will often get some kind of Drymarchon species
okay.
because of how similar they are to like king cobras and like their intelligence level, the way they act and move. And he was my favorite snake that I've ever had,
Now,
and
there's
that's a
two.
cool snake.
Isn't there's two different versions of them, correct? If I
The
think
red,
because
red, the red throat and the black.
okay, yeah,
Okay, as
okay,
far as Cooper, I met
okay.
this girl Brooke though. I met this girl Brooke at the Anaheim show. She's out there working at Ryan McVeigh's place, uh, and she's working with Mexican indigos, and those look really cool. I told her to put me on the list whenever she actually produces babies.
Nice. See, it pays to know people.
She
um,
was a yeah. Go ahead.
no. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, there's just a cool moment as far as humans go. I saw her at the show, and she was walking around with a couple people I knew, and you know how you get these weird things with people, like you make assumptions, and
Yeah.
I assumed that she didn't like, maybe she's just the vibe I got is like, oh, she's seen me before somewhere, she doesn't necessarily like me. She's like, oh, I don't know, you might be friends with some of my friends, and this is I made this all up in my head that this girl was like, oh yeah, that guy's a douche. I was like, I get it, I can see how somebody would think that because I've done some dumb stuff, um, but turns out she was like she really liked my stuff, and when we actually met and talked, she was like, "Oh, I was wondering why Ryan hadn't me introduced us yet because like I'm such a huge fan." And it just reminded me again. I'm 40, and I've still learning like how to interact with people, and not make assumptions that somebody doesn't like me, and let that stop me from talking. Because I'm a natural introvert. Like I'm very introverted naturally, which is I'm a converted introvert now. I talk to people a lot,
I was gonna say, dude, you've said this now, and Gershon, which was the sponsor, says that he's an introvert. I consider myself an introvert, but if you get me talking about snakes, it there's no such thing as an introvert. Then it's just like I think
but
there's something like we all have this bond that all just goes away.
I think the difference between a true introvert versus a true extrovert is extroverts get energy from being out and talking, and like they just keep getting more energy, and like and then when they're by themselves, then they're like, oh, like they start to get depressed or start to get like, oh, I need to go be around some people so I can get some energy. Whereas an introvert is the exact opposite of that. That's my opinion, not having studied psychology. But
Yeah, no, I can see
because
that. I can see that.
I go out and I go to shows, I have a blast talking to everybody, but when the show's over, like I need to go recharge and like get energy back, Where
I'm
versus an extrovert, I think is the opposite. Like they get the energy from being out there, and then when they're back by themselves, they're like, okay, I'm here now, but I need to get back out with people before I'm gonna.
It makes sense though. I think you might be onto something there with that because I do agree with that does make sense. Now you had briefly just brought this up, but how about roaming reptiles? Like, what got you into that? How do you even work all of that?
Well, that was Brandon. Brandon put in all of the work for roaming reptiles. He did it for, I believe, 10 years. He was based out of Bakersfield, and he would go as far as Oregon, which is why the name roaming reptiles is very accurate. He would go all over the place to do these reptile shows. And he was moving from here, California, to Wisconsin, and he was looking for somebody to take it over. And I told him I didn't have the time, which was true, technically. Um, and I tried to pass him off to a bunch of different people like Travis, my buddy Riley up in Sacramento now, and people that I thought would do great and that I thought were great to do educational stuff with reptiles. And he basically came and we were sitting doing a video before he left, and I was doing like a goodbye video with him before he moved, and he was just like, you know what, if you don't take it over, I'm just gonna sunset it and it's gonna no longer exist. I was like, ah. I was like, all right, how about Mondays? I can commit to doing maybe Monday shows, and then after I did one show, I was like, okay, how about every day that they're available? And then I was starting to get into the flow of it, and there was libraries and there were schools, and it was really cool, and I was just having a blast sharing reptiles with kids and getting teachers over there, which is the biggest thing, is getting teachers over their fears, because teachers are, adults are more ingrained in their biases and their fears. Kids are easier to work over on that. They see other kids doing it, they're cool, but having a teacher. But then right when I was like kind of getting into my rhythm of it, COVID, and all the schools and libraries shut down. And so, I mean, Roma Reptiles is basically sunsetted. I've done a couple of shows since then, but I've just kind of started it over, and I rebranded just to Triple B Reptiles. And I'm just, because I haven't really done many. I've done a few, and I'm just gonna start over at ground zero. I've got reptiles, and I'm starting over here locally, because I'm not gonna be roaming like Brandon did.
Yeah.
Because he was, that was his main thing. He would go everywhere, and I'm gonna just try and keep it local, because I know one of your things on there was like, how do you balance like the work life thing, and it's by making decisions like that. Like, okay, I'm not going to travel all over the place for that, because I travel a bit already. And to answer your unasked question that I know was on paper at one point of like, how do you manage the work life balance, and how do you make that work? Is I just go off feel mostly, and I know I need to support my family, and I know that I need to also, part of that is spending time with my family. A big part of it, you can support your family monetarily and never be there, which is what a lot of dads have done in the past. And I just find a balance between that. Like, we have enough money to eat, have a place to live, and cover the mostly basic necessities, and then they have their time with me. So I just kind of make my decisions based on that.
No, I feel like, because with you running 2 channels, the wife and kids, like, that's just an awful heck of a big workload. I know, like, for me, I'm still finding that happy balance between the snakes and YouTube and my family and stuff, because I have a wife, a 2-year-old daughter, and then a 15-year-old son. Now I'm trying to get him into being more a part of the business end of Warfels Morphs, which,
how old is he?
He's 15. So, and his female is actually the one that laid clutch number 1 for this season. So he's excited about that, which I'm hoping that this is the way I hook him into it, because he was excited to get the snake, and then the excitement kind of wore off, and it ended up Dad's problem to take care of. So, but I give him credit. He did save up, and he bought the snake himself. So I'm hoping that seeing snake eggs that came from his snake, like hatching, is enough to hook him. And I told him this yesterday, actually. Since when I got back from the Gettysburg Reptile Show, I told him, hey, it's like, next show I need you to be there, because he originally was going to come, but he's like, I'm just going to stay home. I think he kind of figured it's just going to be Dad with a whole bunch of older guys talking about snakes and not a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, partially true. But I told him, I was going to need him to go. He goes, well, how come? I was like, well, next show is like, dude, we're vending. He goes, and like his eyes lit up. He goes, what? I was like, next show, dude. I was like, I dropped the hammer. I was like, we're vending it. I was like, we should have snakes. We'll have snakes to sell, provided they don't go online. But we'll have snakes to sell. And worst case scenario, I'll just have the table there, and we'll get the name out there. And I figured I'm going to take this from you, Brian. And this is actually on the list of questions too. But my buddy Chris from BNS Reptilia gave me this thought, and it was a really good thought. I'm going to try to do like catch 1 or 2 breeders at each show and kind of have like a table set up like you do, and do like a small little interview, because I think that's ingenious.
It's a cool way to talk to people and help grow other folks, that might be at shows but don't have any kind of internet presence.
I was gonna say, yeah, like I think it's a really neat thing the way you do that. So I hope you don't mind me using that.
Yeah, do it.
But I think it's just like how do you how do you go about finding the people to do it though? Because I mean, shows get busy and crazy. So how do you try like kind of manage getting the people over there? I mean, do you had to tell them, hey, it's only gonna be like 10 minutes,
Yes.
or how do you
Yeah,
go about
time
doing
time
all
is a
that?
huge factor. You know, you've got one weekend, you've got because the only people generally, 95% of the people that I interview at shows are vendors. That's kind of like an unwritten prerequisite to be on Triple B TV as a guest is that you're vending the show, which means that you have a table to run, and so you cannot or do not want to be away from that table very long. So I keep them 10, 15 minutes tops unless
Okay.
they want to talk a little longer. I'll let them, of course. But I generally post it in a way that after about 15 minutes, I'm like, all right, we're good. Like, unless you want to say, you want to say something before we get out of here, then go for it. And the most interviews I ever did at one weekend show was I think 16 interviews,
Oh,
which
okay.
is it's a good amount for
That's a good bit.
considering it's a good bit for 2 days. And setup day too. You take advantage of setup day, knowing who's going to be there, reaching out to them beforehand, and be like, hey. And then, there were times I haven't done this anymore. In fact, the last show I went to, I didn't do any interviews because I was filming for the show as well. But
Oh, okay.
I was filming like the show. Rami had hired me to get video. He's like, Saturday all day, I just want you to get video, and he's going to hire me to do it. So I was like, okay, then I won't even set up and try and film any interviews because I don't want to take away from what he's hiring me to do.
Yeah.
So, but having a schedule worked out, and have an hour. So plan on having, depends on how many people you want to try and have, but if you want to maximize your time for doing interviews, and if your son's there, that's great because then he can man the table while you're doing the interview.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely need to have somebody if you're having snakes on your table and you're not just doing interviews at the thing, which is something I've definitely done before where I'm just there doing interviews. Then you need to have somebody manning your table, obviously. But I think when I did those 16 in that one show, what I had worked out was 1 hour per person. I had them worked out for their hour, and you have to be flexible sometimes because sometimes nobody wants to be away from their table at like noon on Saturday.
Yeah.
But basically scheduling people for each hour. You're going to be at 1 o'clock. You're going to be at 2 o'clock. You're going to be at 3. You're going to be at 4. That Friday on 10, it's set up or whatever. Have a schedule worked out before the show, and then just make sure you have those people's numbers and whatever way you need to get a hold of them to let them know, hey, it's your time. Come on over, and then you have that whole hour to compress and decompress from the interview. You got your 15 minutes of time to do, and then time to set up and break down, and have some space between the different interviewees that you have coming on, the different guests you have coming on.
Okay. See, that's good, and see, that's nice to know how you do it because that definitely helps me get everything in order. Trey's been warm. You want a diaper for that beer? Hey, I try to enjoy it, Trey's been. And John, get Dave to come on the show too. That would be epic to get Dave to come on. That really would.
Dave's overrated.
Dude, Dave, you and Dave together, like that last herping trip you guys did was great with Noah. I enjoyed that. That was
I love
good
Dave,
video.
dude. I love Dave and Noah's interactions, man. They're so great. Dave is one of my. I love Dave so much, man. He's such a.
Now, were you invited on that ball python trip to Africa at all?
Yeah, he did say, if you want to. It just sounded so intense, and as far not intense like the trip is. Well, it did sound intense afterwards after talking, like what he went through. It's like, oh, that was intense. But I mean, just the process of getting. I guess they've been working on getting their visas for however many months, and it was years in the process of planning with Ewan, our buddy from Australia, who was kind of his contact for folks over there. Just a lot involved, and I could have made it work. I'm just so hard pressed to take any reasonable amount of time away from the family. I mean, the last big trip I did was with Dave, And to be fair, he's kind of a bachelor. He doesn't have young kids at home
Yeah.
to take care of. So he's able to go on these long trips. The last big one I went though was with him to Australia, and that was about 2 weeks. And I feel it. I feel it when I'm gone from my kids in that amount of time. Like it's not something I want to do, and not something I look forward to. I love the trips. I love going. We're actually supposed to go, Dave and I and Adam Wickens, and we've invited Brian Barczyk as well, and he may be coming. He has to Indonesia and Thailand at
wow.
the end of October. So that'll be the next big trip. Dave is great at. Dave helps get me out there. Not just sharing his much larger audience with me, as well as just always inviting me along on these really cool herping expeditions that he's well known for. That's his thing. That's his channel. That's his thing. And he goes out and he herps. He finds things in the wild. He does research. I haven't had a chance to watch his ball python movie yet, but I'm looking forward to all the information that he's probably uncovered.
Dude, it is nuts. It's like an hour and something, an hour and some change long. It does not. Yeah. Like I sat there and I thought, all right, I'm just gonna watch like 30 minutes here and then 30 minutes there, and then I'll finish it up, another time. I do 3 parts on it. Sat there and watched the whole thing, and I'm like, well, it's over already. And I looked at the time, I was like, oh shoot. It's like, dang, like it flew by, but such great information, such great. I just can't imagine having to go through what he went through while he was over there. It just sounded like it was kind of chaotic at the same time. Like
he's
fun,
a pro.
but chaos.
He's a pro, and I'm impressed with what he can pull off, being what the diva that he is.
Dude, Dave's awesome. He is one dude, John. I hope to have the courage to ask to have come on one day. Maybe Brian will put a good word in for me or something.
But you gotta. I'll do it, but you have to promise to ask this one question. I'll give you the question after the show.
All right. You got it, dude. And we could even do a panel, you, Dave, and me on at the same time. That might even be a better thing.
Yeah, but you might become a third wheel odd man out real quick.
Hey, I'm okay sitting back and just I'll soak in all the knowledge, dude. I'm okay with that. I will soak up.
It's not going to be knowledge. It's going to be shenanigans and miscreant activity.
In that case, I'll be laughing that hard. I won't care. All right. Well, we went over that question already. All right. How about your favorite recessive and co-doms that are out there?
Incomplete dominant.
Incomplete dominant. Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. Now I say incomplete dominant sometimes, and people look at me like I have 6 heads. It's like co-dom.
I know people do the same thing when I say leucistic. It's all good. It's just it's not grammar Nazi, whatever you want to call it.
It's all good, dude. All good.
So more and more, yellow belly is becoming my favorite incomplete dominant gene because of how much of a sleeper it is in a sense by itself, but how much it really just pumps up the projects that I'm most excited about working. Yellow belly just seems to be that magical ingredient. You throw yellow belly, and by itself it's just yellow belly. But when you start throwing it in these different combos, it's like if you don't have yellow belly, then it's like, well, what are we missing? Oh, yep. Yellow belly. So yellow belly has become my favorite incomplete dominant gene for that fact. As far as recessive, it's a happy tie between Sunset and the Clown.
Okay.
Clown is just wicked and wild and does all kinds of cool stuff. Clown is just like, for people that love ball pythons, like Clown is, for most people, I think, is just one of the coolest genes ever. Like how drastically it changes the head stamp and the face. It's so obvious. When a clown pokes its head out of an egg, it's a clown.
Yeah, there's no mistake in that head. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love Clown. And Sunset is a wicked gene as well, as far as how much it changes the snake. I mean, it introduces that whole new color palette of these reds and oranges that weren't in ball pythons before, and does this crazy GHI thing with the pattern. So
yes,
the first time I saw one, I was like, I must have that. And then I saw the price and I was like, dang it.
Yeah. The price is the heavy hitter on them. Yeah. Now since we're on the sunset, because that is actually the next question.
And
You must have this like
yellow belly clown pied sunset.
Enchy cinnamon yellow belly clown pie. That all right. Now, what about Ultramel and Sunset?
Ooh, Ultramel. I really love what Ultramel and Sunset did together. That's really nice.
Because it almost makes like my buddy Mike breeds boas, and he showed me a Sun Dragon a couple years ago, and this thing like glows orange. And
so I'm just trying to be realistic. That's why I'm sure Ultramel clown yellow belly sunset and sure, it sounds great, but I'm a slow growth, and very, very slow growth has been my MO for breeding ball pythons from the beginning, and I've stuck with it. One of the few things I've stuck with in life. I plan to stay there. When the more recessive genes you introduce to a project, the more space you need, the more time you need, the more everything. It becomes exponential with recessive projects for the obvious reasons that they're recessive and it takes more time to make hets, and then you have to have, there's all kinds of extra snakes that come in, lots of pos hets that you're making and potentially needing to hold back. And so I'm still of the opinion and realistic view that I may have grandchildren before I actually produce my own Enchy cinnamon yellow belly clown pied sunset. So if I wanted to introduce Ultramel into that too, that just seems more on the more unrealistic side of things.
How do you like, since Ultramel and Sunset do make such an orange snake though, and how Sunset works better than probably a lot of people, do you think it'll hold that bright orange, or do you think it's gonna brown out a little bit more?
Only time will tell. I mean, I'd love to see Desert Ghost Sunset. I'd love to see that. I mean, the Enchy cinnamon, I'll tell you right now, this is only by the grace of God that I was fortunate to have Enchy and cinnamon be the two incomplete dominant genes that were in my Sunset project from the get-go. I mean, I've got breeder Enchy cinnamon Sunset, and he is orange, just orange.
Okay.
So that does it.
See, the thing against me, I'm partially colorblind, so when I see snakes,
Orange
like sometimes,
is
what's that?
Orange is probably tough for you.
Well, sometimes I don't see, like, how do I?
My son is also colorblind, so he.
Oh, okay. Which one?
We play a Noah.
Okay,
we play a car color game where we drive down the road and we find red car, orange car, yellow car, and so on. And he has a very hard time telling if something's orange or not.
Oh, see,
I was just assuming that's the same for you.
Well, no, see, mine's really weird. I can pick out oranges and stuff, but sometimes I just don't see the true saturation of the color. Like dark green looks black to me, dark blue looks black. Even some just blues will look black.
Okay.
Good thing is, like, with me doing construction, we use bright, like, hot pink marking paint. And the one day out on the job,
what did you see on that dress?
What's that?
Remember that dress? Remember that dress that was circulating the internet for a long time? People were seeing either blue and black or gold and white.
I do remember the dress, but I don't remember what I saw, because my wife showed that to me. I forget what I saw though.
As did mine.
But anyway, my boss said connect the pink dots and just paint in line for the track code to dig it. I'm there like looking around. I was like, dude, what are you talking about? I thought he was messing with me. And he goes, you're standing at one. I looked down at my feet. I'm like looking all over the place. Like, dude, there's nothing here. It's like, all right, funny, ha ha. What do you want me to really do? He goes, what's wrong with you? Are you colorblind? I looked at him. I was like, actually, I'm partially colorblind. Yes. He goes, just give me the paint. I'll go do it. No idea what he was talking about. I didn't see a stinking dot or anything to connect.
I've got a funny construction story, similar paint, and I just got to tell you, I'm inspired to tell you it. I was working with my parents' neighbor at the time. Cool guy. I actually just saw him at the Anaheim show for the first time since 2017. It was really cool to see him again. Such a cool dude. But I was working with him, and we're expanding this New York pizza into the next building over downtown. And there were walls that needed to be taken out. And I'm fairly new to construction at this point. I don't really know per se what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so he was also, to be fair, not with it 100%. There's all kinds of extracurricular activities going on with him as well. He just told me he's take the sledgehammer and saws. He's like, this is the fun part of the job for me. He's like, just go take out all the walls with the red marks. And I was like, sweet. Sledgehammer, sawzall. I'm just like, red mark, bam, bam, just getting all my pent up aggressions out on these walls. Just loving it. Just like, oh, I love this destruction. I'm like a little boy again, just smashing stuff to smithereens. And he walks back in like, an hour or so later, and he's just like, what happened to that wall? What did you do? And I was like, you said take out everything with a red mark. And I was like, well, if it had a red mark, I took it out. And he's like, what? He had marked some walls with red mark, and then crossed out the red mark, like circled and crossed out the red marks with more red. He's like, this one looks sick. I was like, that's red.
Oh, that's.
He didn't fire me.
Did what you were told.
I did. I had a solid defense.
You felt good afterwards too, I'm sure.
And not after he told me that I took out
you
walls.
felt good during it anyway. Afterwards, you're like, oh crap.
I felt bad for him, for sure.
Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. Oh shoot, yeah, that's good. I like that. All right. So, how many clutches are you expecting this year, and what's your most anticipated clutch?
Enchi Cinnamon Sunset is always a highly anticipated clutch for me because it's my favorite sunset to date. It still is. Now, the only way I see that improving is some Yellow Belly, maybe some Clown Pied. So I've had one of those. I've produced 3 Enchi Cinnamon Sunsets this year, so those were awesome. But I also had a couple of pairings with a couple of different het clown females that each had 2 incomplete dominant genes with them. And I had my first Canova snake. Well, when I got it, it was still Kabylka snake, but first Canova snake. And so those pairings with that snake and those females, those were 2 of my most anticipated ones, aside from the sunset. And both of those have hatched, and I produced some, blessed to have some really, really nice snakes come out of those pairings. The one unfortunate thing is GHI hasn't come out of the snake yet, which it's supposed to have, which I've talked with Justin, because it was the one, it was the one gene I really wanted to have in there as well, with the other things. But, and when I was getting the snake from him, I was like, I asked him, I was like, so how do you see GHI in this snake? Because I'm just not seeing it. And he was like, well, we have, so many snakes, and we get to kind of tell by the, having them compared to this and compared to this. And I was like, all right, dude, if you say there's GHI in this snake, I believe you. And so maybe, I'm not saying that it won't prove out GHI at some point, but it hasn't from those 2 pairings. No GHI came out, and I was like, I'm going to give it a couple more pairings.
That's almost starting to sound like it's maybe not there. But yeah, I mean,
only 2. I got to give it. There's a lot of other genes in that snake, so it's possible. With only 2 pairings, it's just possible that the GHI just hasn't come out yet. But we'll see.
Yeah, you haven't hit the
give us some more time. And I know Justin will, whatever comes down the line, we'll figure out something that works. I mean, Justin is a great dude. There's no way that he won't make sure that I'm happy, or I imagine any of his customers are happy for that matter.
Yeah. I've always wondered, because Justin has, his genes are his animals are such gene packed. I've always wondered, how do you see some of these, it's got to be just a minuscule slight detail on some of these like 6 gene combos. It's like I look at it and be like, yep, that surely looks beautiful. If you say it's in there, okay.
Justin is a ball python sommelier. I watched him one time. I remember I was sitting there with Chase at our buddy over at Lone Star. We're at his place, and we were both watching him like look at Earl's snakes, and the way that he like held them and turned them and looked at them, it was exactly the way like a sommelier, like, you know, noses the glass of wine, or like somebody that's like a professional, like, you know, taste tester, just like, you know, just checking the way he was looking at him, the body language that he had. It was just that. I mean, he's paid so much close attention and really puts a lot of thought. And he's almost a, I would say, savant level of you know, savant in a sense, as far as like being able to look at ball pythons and see what they have to offer. You know, I've never seen anybody look at the snakes like that before or after.
He's got a gift. He's got a gift. And then on top of it, I think his true gift is he can figure out in his head beforehand what's going to happen with this pairing or that pairing and how all these genes are going to interact. And I think that's how he is so ahead of the game. Like he's got it down.
He's put in the time. You know, he got a bunch of stuff that, you know, he had a bunch of recessive projects going well before anybody thought recessive projects were going to be the way to go. And he's a smart guy. And yeah, there's a whole combo of things going on there with Justin that makes that work.
All right, let's see here. All right, how about, what are some of your tricks that you use to sell your snakes?
Not so much a trick, I don't think. It's just having a presence and just being honest with stuff. And, you know, I think that's it. I don't know. It's not so much, I don't know if there's a real trick to it. I planned to, I mean, I was making videos for a couple of years, you know, every week before I ever produced our first snake. So I had a presence out there in the reptile hobby, making known what my plans were. And so when I finally did produce snakes, like, you know, people were ready. It wasn't like it was just, oh, who's this guy that has these snakes all of a sudden? I had developed that name
following
well before I ever started producing snakes. And that then also the plan to grow slowly from the beginning, you know, and not just buy a bunch of breeder females and start producing a bunch of snakes. And I produced, what did we produce so far this year? 8 fletches, I think. And this is my 5th year producing.
Okay.
And we might have 2 or more come this season, which will be the most clutches I've produced yet in a season. So
nice.
I don't have a surplus of animals. I'm like, oh, I need to sell these. I don't have the space. I always have space. I always have like a third to a quarter of my space is open.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say there was so much a trick as careful planning.
Which that's, I guess trick was the wrong word. I guess I should say, what's your method? But
I mean, the snakes sell themselves mostly. I just put them up there. You know, I show videos, and I mean, I didn't even list my first entry snake. I mean, it's a $10,000 snake. I didn't even list it yet, and I had somebody buy one from the first video that they saw that they had hatched.
Oh wow!
You know?
So probably a lot of the stuff that you're hatching, it never even sees Morph Market or a show, probably then.
Yeah, there's a good amount just because of the YouTube channel. Yeah, it's still a way of advertising, you know, in a sense. But when things do hit Morph Market, for some reason, some have stayed. Like I've got a couple snakes on Morph Market, and maybe it's because they have the spider gene in them that they've sat there for a minute. You know, the spider gene took a pretty hard hit with a lot of videos going out there, you know, talking down on it, which it has its downsides, of course. You know, the wobble and the neurological issues with spider are real. It's not a joke, and it's not fake. But spider definitely took a hard hit with that, and I think that's the reason those 2 snakes sat there longer than anything else. But generally, when I put up snakes, they go pretty quick, which is great. It's nice. I'm very grateful for the people that trust us to give them healthy snakes.
Yeah. With you bringing up the spider thing, like it sucks that spider has the bad rap that it has because I absolutely love it. And thank you, Nicole. Greatly appreciate you saying that because I love all my spider combos. None of mine really exhibit that wobble. I mean, like you said, there's some that really have that really big corkscrew. I'm blessed that none of mine have that, and they seem basically normal. Like they might have a slight, head tilt or something, but they don't do anything goofy. But I still think Spider's probably one of the most beautiful genes out there in combos.
Well, something that can not present itself visibly, when they're babies, and then can get much worse as they go into adulthood, or it can be opposite of that. They can be like nuts as babies, and then in my limited experience, and then kind of calm down in adulthood. It's just one of those things. It's a little different. There's a neurological thing there. I've heard that there are ones that it causes them to have trouble eating it, and I haven't seen that myself.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No,
it's a thing.
like you still work with it though, right? I mean, like you just not very heavily.
Not heavily at all. I may phase it out ultimately, just because they do have. I had my first baby that was a little stronger. That's probably why he's still sitting there. I'm very very open. Like in the description on the Morph Market, I'm like I say this animal exhibits some pretty, like I show in the video too, like you can see the wobble, and as I'm very open about, it's pretty strong in this baby. So
that's probably one reason why. Yeah, it's I love it. I'm thankful I don't have any issues with it, but man, like I produced an OD bumblebee this year, and that thing, I just love opening up that tub and seeing that snake in that tub every time. My dream is to make the like an OD zebra bee. I just picture in my head with the lines that I'm working with of what that's going to look like. It's just, yeah, I love that.
I think you're fine to work with it as long as you are, forthcoming with anybody getting snakes from you. That you make sure they are aware of the potentials with the spider gene, and that goes for a lot of other genes too. There's so many different genes that if you make the homozygous version of, can be either lethal or have more of that. And there's a whole plethora of genes out, a whole host of them out there that spot nose or cinnamon or champagne. There's this whole list of snakes that can have potential issues depending on what you breed them to, etc. And as long as you're open and forthcoming with that information to somebody who doesn't know, and you're not just like pulling over on somebody, then it's that I don't think there's a moral issue there.
Okay. Will wants to know, what camera do you use besides the drone and GoPro?
So more recently, I've been using the Sony A7C for the majority of my filming, and I still use the Canon 6D Mark IIs for some of the secondary camera shots at times. I'll use my phone a lot if I'm in a position where I'm like, oh, I want to get this shot and I don't have a camera with me. Or like yesterday when I went out to the beach and realized I didn't have a memory card in my Sony A7C. I was like, well, at least I've got my phone. And for the drone, I'm right now flying the Mavic Air 2. Thank you, Christopher Sexton, for that. And that's, but the majority of the stuff you'll see on the channel to date, or today, is filmed with the Sony A7C mirrorless camera.
Okay.
And I really like it because it has a huge dynamic range, compared to the Canons that I've worked with in the past, the DSLR cameras I've used in years previous. But anything that'll give me more dynamic range, that's what I'm gonna work with moving forward.
Okay. See, I need to get a camera at some point. I'm still using.
No, you don't.
I got an i13 Pro, which
Great.
was a big upgrade from my 10R, but I need to get an actual camera at some point. And
it depends on what you want to do. I wouldn't say that you need to. I nerd out on that stuff. Like when I see this shot that's like super crispy and has all this dynamic range, I just like geek out on it. Probably 95% of the people that watch the channel wouldn't care if it was filmed on a cell phone or not, because iPhone 13 is pulling off crazy things that movie cinema cameras weren't doing, 10 years ago. So
that's true. I guess that's true. I mean,
I
it
wouldn't say
works
it's a
for
need.
now.
What are
So
you
it
What are you
works.
on right now? What is your image coming through right now?
This is just off my laptop, and it bugs the hell out of me because I think it
What?
always looks
It
so
looks
grainy.
looks great. It looks crispy. I mean, I'm on a little tiny cell phone right here, but
Yeah, if you blow it up, Ryan, you'll see all the pixelation.
right. But I mean, the average viewer on YouTube, that doesn't matter as long as like you can see what's happening. The
Well, that's
content,
true.
the content is most important. The story behind the video you're making is way more important than having like the most pixels or 8K or the most dynamic range. None of that is all of that is secondary to having a good story. Period.
That is true. That is true. I agree with you on that one. I really do. Thanks, Nicole. See, Nicole agrees with you too.
It
Thank
does.
you.
It looks great, and I love the green walls too.
Dude, like in all honesty, like the camera doesn't pick up the true green. It's called parrot green, but it's just a shade darker than neon. But I don't know. I have this obsession with like bright green. I don't know why. My wife makes fun of me all the time for it.
My walls are also painted green. My
I
first
was gonna say,
apartment.
yeah, yours are like, well, yours and Gavin's from Balls to You, like we're all like the green room. But I think your green actually shows up really nice on camera. Mine doesn't really show up the greatest.
Because I nerd out on white balance. I match my lighting to the white balance on the camera, so you get accurate colors. That's the other thing I think. As far as tricks go, I know how a camera operates. I've studied cameras pretty hard and know exactly how they work and how to reproduce what you actually see with your eye on the camera, especially when it comes to taking a photo of a snake to put on Morph Market. So people aren't getting a snake from me and seeing like, oh, this thing doesn't look anything like the colors on that I saw
Yeah.
in the picture. I match those identically. I've got I've got the white balance balanced to the flash, and I do the editing I do in post is simply to bring back the whites and the blacks so they match what your eye sees, because your eye is so much better at picking up colors and dynamic range than any camera to date. So it's just that's a little trick too, like making sure that your photos of your snakes represent what you actually see with your eye when you're holding it in your hand. That's
No,
good, because then on both ends you get to see people get to see and like, oh, this snake looks incredible, and then they get it and it looks exactly like that when they get it, versus like, oh, the snake looks incredible and they get it and like, looked way better in the picture.
is this the actual snake? No, I wonder if my iPhone can do that though. You would think it probably can do something.
There are
similar.
apps that you can put onto your phone.
Okay.
Filmic Pro, Filmic Pro. You can take full manual control over your camera and the white balance in particular, which is the most important part for re-representing colors accurately.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up because, like, I love Exantic. Exantic is like my thing. Everybody says whatever gene, everything. Mine's Exantic. I want to Exantic everything. But Exantics are I think the hardest snake to photograph. No matter how good they look, you take a picture of them, and for me, it always like the camera always browns them out right away. And I think that the white balance stuff would probably be the ticket to make them actually look right. All right.
We both got distracted by the chat at the same time.
Intrepid says Kusko is definitely the cinematic masterpiece guy. Yes, you are. But I do love the uncuts.
Only because I pushed it so hard.
I do love the uncuts. I love to see that little touch of chaos thrown in there and to see how you react with it. I love it.
It's helped me with my own struggles as a human, as a father as well. When you get to watch back how you are with your kids and whether or not you're being reasonable,
yeah,
watch back, and then when you have the rest of the world, also able to look at it and give you feedback on your parenting, it helps. Honestly, sometimes it's tough to hear some of the stuff, but if somebody has a valid point, they have a valid point, and I like to look into that. Like, how can I improve?
Yeah, that is true. For anybody that just joined up, excuse me. For anybody that just joined up, make sure you're following Brian. All of his information is in the description down below. All of his links to social media, both of his YouTube channels. Definitely subscribe to his channel. And if you're new to my channel, thank you for tuning in, and definitely hit that subscribe button and start following us, because I really appreciate all the support. And last time I checked, we were at like 850 something subs, and we're going to be doing a 900 sub giveaway. And at 1,000 subs, right now we are at, was it 4 snakes, I think, are being donated for a giveaway. And some of them are pretty heavy hitting snakes and really great combos. So let's get to 1K, everybody, because I'm excited to give some snakes away. And then the people donating are very excited to give some snakes away. I was actually kind of jealous about the 1 combo.
That's an important first
like,
number for YouTube. That first 1,000 subs. That's an important number.
Oh, dude, like when I started this, I never thought I would even like. This sounds bad. I kind of got forced into doing YouTube. Like my friend kept bugging me. I was like, fine, all right, I'll do it. And looking back at my first 5, 6 videos, I mean, they were terrible, absolutely horrendous. I almost looked like Michael Myers standing in the corner. You just see his black silhouette. Yeah, it was terrible. But I was making the attempt. Everything has progressively gotten better, obviously, thank God. If it wouldn't have, nobody would even give me the light of day. But I just get like, it's hard to believe I've gotten to where I'm at this point. Like, I just can't imagine it. And how did you go about like getting everything that, like, as far as you did into it? Because that was one thing I always wondered. It like, I mean, you're a very welcoming person, which helps big time, I think. But it just seems like, that first little bit is always a grind.
Yeah, I think that's true with anything you do. I mean, when you're first learning to do something, there's things you don't know that you can only learn by doing them and failing. So that's true of anything. I mean, walking, for example, you're gonna fall, and it's probably gonna hurt sometimes, and you get better at it by learning. And pain is a great teacher.
Yes.
So you go through those struggles. You try something, it works or it doesn't. Maybe you try it again. Maybe you fail again. And I mean, it's a whole life lesson you could work into it with that. Is like, you're only gonna do well at the things that you attempt. You're only gonna succeed at the things you attempt. If you don't attempt something, then you're not going to do anything. I can get up and walk now because I went through those steps of crawling. And that's the same thing with anything you do, with YouTube, making videos. You try something. And so the beauty of today is we have all this technology. We have YouTube as a resource to, if you want to know how to do something, there's a high probability that somebody out there has done that thing and has made a video on how to do it. So
that's true. Yeah.
If you want to learn how to do a certain camera move or make something happen cinematically or some kind of camera trick, like there's so many videos on YouTube you can reference and you can learn really quickly. Okay, that's how you do. I wanted to figure out how to run better this last year, and so obviously I went to YouTube and looked at people who run professionally and saw what they did and what their training tips are, and it changed everything I knew about how to run and get better at it. It's been a game changer. So we have these resources now today where they can be paralyzing. It's like there's so much out there available to us at this point. And you'd be like, oh, it's so much. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'll just sit here and watch 5 seasons of Game of Thrones.
Which, speaking of Game of Thrones, are you going to watch House of the Dragon?
I don't know. Is there more?
Oh yeah. Well, you're not a Game of Thrones.
I read the Game of Thrones books before there were ever movies. I got to the point when George R.R. Martin had said, at the end of the book, he was like, "Oh, the next book will be coming out in, whatever this year or this year that was written in the back of the book." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's like soon-ish," or maybe it had already passed at the point I was reading the books, and then I was like, found out, oh, he hadn't released the book by the time that it said in this other book, and I was like, he hasn't written it yet. Like, wait a minute, he said it was going to be written by now. I was like,
What the heck? But yeah, it's like this new one is called House of the Dragon. It's supposed to take place like 200 years before Game of Thrones. It's all about the Targaryen stuff. It looks really good.
Everybody knows everybody's following this. The George Lucas success story. Like, okay, now we have to have prequels. Like
Well, all right, we have to. I love Star Wars. Yes.
Jeremy, what do you know?
I know that you should put drones on sports mode and fly them towards a bridge.
See, and you learn that from somebody else without having to experience it yourself. This is the beauty of all the information that's out there on the internet right now. You don't have to go through these hardships that other people have gone through to learn from them. And that's something everybody should take note of, I think, is like, you can find out what not to do by watching somebody else do it and fail.
Yeah.
It's a great tool.
I'm going to, just so you know, when we're all done here tonight, I'm going to go up to my wife. I'm going to go to this moment exactly and be like, look, Brian asked me, what do you know?
Well, to be fair, I was prompted by the chat.
I know. I put it up there. But no, I do love the what do you know things, because all the kids always give you a good answer.
Usually. Way better than I ever give.
All right. We're at an hour and 17 minutes. How much longer are you good for? Because I know you said a slight limited time window.
Negative 17.
What's that?
I'm good for negative 17 minutes at this point.
So, yeah, you let me know if you want to when you want to wrap it up. And
17 minutes ago.
17 minutes ago? All right. So, do you want to come back on again, good sir?
Sure. Absolutely, man. This has been fun.
All right. So, everybody, don't leave the chat or leave the lobby, because we got more stuff to go over and to talk about. I will set up another time with Brian to have him come back on, and we'll have another good time. So I want to thank you, sir, for coming on. It was a true honor. I mean that from the bottom. If I could talk, I mean that from the bottom of my heart, dude. It was great to have you on. It was just a dream come true. So thank you.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
And I'll definitely be hitting you up again in the near future. Like we'll set a date up here. Is it better to get a longer plan or a shorter term to get a hold of you on dates? Because I know you're busy.
Yeah, well, but the thing is about my planning, I do plan stuff in advance, but it's also, there's other things that happen. I keep myself flexible at the same time for things to happen. So I try not to plan more than, depending on what it is. If there's something that needs a whole day, then I'll give it the whole day.
Yeah.
If it's something at a certain hour, I'll give it an hour. I need to go over there and attend to this birthday party that I'm missing out on, that I didn't know that I was going to until this morning. I
didn't realize you were at a birthday.
No, you're fine. Listen. We planned this. We planned this. Like you planned this like at least a month ago or more. So you planned this well in advance, which I appreciate. This birthday party, like I said, it happened today. So it's not,
okay.
Don't apologize.
Well, get to this party, dude. I'm sure people want to see you and hang out with you. And I will get a hold of you in a week or so, and we'll try to figure something out and a date and everything.
Sounds great, man.
All right, dude. Thanks again, Brian. I greatly appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, thanks for having me, bro.
All right. Take it easy.
All right, everybody in the chat, you have a good night.
All right, everybody. So that was just epic. I hope you all enjoyed that. I have here's my list, and I think we made it down to my finger. So there's a lot more to go over. But we'll kind of do like we did with Austin. I'll open the chat. The chat. We'll open the lobby up if anybody wants to come on and hang out for a little while, because everybody likes to kind of chill and hang out. And if y'all want to get your faces up here on the camera, you're more than welcome to. Like I said, actually, here let's just do a little check here once. Just to give you guys an idea as to how close we are to doing our 900 sub giveaway. All right, we are at currently 855 subs, which is freaking awesome. So that being said, at 900 subs, now if T from Keys Constrictors was here, he'd be all he's definitely all over this. He wants this thing in the worst way. But it's this hockey puck. If you really want my logo on the hockey puck, I'll get my logo made up to send with the hockey puck. But what comes with the hockey puck is your logo that we'll have custom done on a piece of acrylic glass like this. It can be your logo, and I'll include this awesome snake crawling through a skull thing, which is pretty darn cool. I like that. But I don't need the snake thing because I always have my logo up. Is that right? Nope, I got that backwards. Haha, there we go. So 900 subs gets a hockey puck, and I'll throw in a shirt. So I'm bleeding. Anyway, so that's pretty cool. So 900 subs, hockey puck, and a shirt. And when we get to that 1,000 sub mark, everybody, like I said, we've got Chris. Chris, nobody wants to hear me talk anyway. Yeah, I'm actually bleeding pretty good here. If y'all see me just like fall over, don't worry, I'll be fine. No, it's not that bad. Anyway, yeah, 1,000 sub. We have 4 snakes being given away, which on Tuesday at 9:30 we're doing, like this Tuesday, right? This coming Tuesday at 9:30. Chris from BNS Reptilia, myself, and Nathan from Infinite Possible Pythons are going to be going live. And I'm just going to let that there, Kaiju, so I don't lose it. But actually, I don't breed my own rats, Kaiju. I buy mine. I just don't want to deal with rats at the moment. Maybe eventually I'll breed mine because I do have a shed I could do it in. But I just can't find the time to really do it right now. But 9:30 this Tuesday. We're trying to time it right after Adam from Proper Royals' live stream. So that way we're not like conflicting and fighting over viewers. But Nathan and Chris are going to be joining me. We're going to be going over the snakes that are being donated thus far. Excuse me. But Nathan's donating a snake. We have to figure out what's egg Chris is donating. So we're going to be Jeremy, someone's asking about your super chats. Do you have Kevin? I can't do super chats until I hit 1K, dude. We share this channel, everybody. Get me to 1K, and we could do super chats. But until I hit that 1K, I'm not allowed to do super chats. But thank you, Kevin, for thinking of me to do that. I really appreciate that, bro. But Tuesday we'll be doing a Chris. Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Yeah, all right, Chris. Way to throw me off. PTSD, Chris. Yeah, threw me off track. But yeah, Chris had like 6 clutches that we're going to be picking an egg from. I kind of we went through the list at the Gettysburg show, and I think I narrowed it down to like 4 clutches. Was it, Chris? I think I narrowed it from 6 to 4. So now we're going to do a dice roll for what clutch it is and a dice roll for what number egg. And he's going to go through and number the eggs. We have to do it Tuesday because one of the clutches I think he's cutting on Wednesday. So depending what number the dice shows, we might know what's being donated a lot sooner than later. So that's really exciting. Thanks, Intrepid. Thank you. And all, like, having cool people like Kusko on is neat, and like having him on was like, it sounds really fanboyish, but it was a dream come true because I've admired and looked up to Kusko for a while. It's just his energy, his positivity, everything. Like, he's just a very good example for the community. But I mean, if I gain some subscribers from him, that's freaking awesome. If I don't, oh wow. It's just neat to get to sit down and have a conversation with the guy. We had actually been messaging through Instagram a little bit, and hopefully in the near future, when he comes back to PA to hang out with Garrett, I had made mention to him about possibly going on like a herping trip, because I've never gone herping yet. Don't judge me, everybody, if you've done it. I'm sorry, I haven't. But I thought that'd be really cool to go herping for my first time with Kusko and Garrett. So we'll see if that actually happens, but fingers crossed that it does, because that would be pretty freaking epic. So, is no one going to join me tonight? Come on, y'all. We got 34 people in the chat, or 34 people watching. Here, I will drop this link one more time. Come on, somebody. Let's get someone in here. Wow. Chris, you can even hop on here, bro. Hop in here, Chris. Or Phil, how about you get in here? You got to speak anyway here for some of this. So you should really hop in here, Phil, too. Let me take a drink here. But we're going to be doing pick of the week, so somebody hop in here real quick. But while we wait to see if anybody joins in here, with what Chris was saying about this boa bite. So we're at Gettysburg show, and I helped Phil carry some stuff, or wait, no, I didn't get to help Phil carry anything in, because Phil had it all in with his cart. But I was hanging out with Phil, Chris, Nathan, Danny. Danny was all set up. I was helping Nathan and Chris with some odds and ends. And Chris, he was going through cleaning some of the display cases, because Chris, if you are, you better. I will bring you, Chris. I will bring you. Yeah, Phil had his cart this time. But anyway, Chris had to clean out his one was it one or two of his acrylic display cases. Anyway, oh look, we got Kent. Oh damn! All right, y'all. Now we got a party.
Hello, people.
What's up, Gershon? Which is the sponsor of this week's episode.
Yeah, I honestly forgot that I was sponsoring this episode. So when I clicked on it and I was in the chat, Will was like, "Thanks for sponsoring this episode." I was like, well, "Who is he talking to?" So I had to go look through the description. Was like, "Oh, that's me." That's me. Oh. How's everybody doing?
Jeremy doesn't have the version where you can pay to have it up here.
Oh,
no, I'm a poor sap. Guy.
It's all a process. I didn't have it that first year I did my podcast. I didn't have it up in the corner. I got it the second year when I started doing that. So hey, it's all a process. It's all a process.
I figure when I get some people that if I could get sponsorships a little bit more steady. I mean, Chris has been a great sponsor for me. You have been a great sponsor for me as well, Gershon. But so far, you guys have been my only sponsors too. So I'm super thankful for you guys sponsoring the channel and some episodes and stuff, because it really meant a lot. Especially since me just being so new to it all. It's just really cool that I had people, willing to put their name with my brand.
Mm-hmm. Well, I saw where you were going. So I was like, okay, I see Jeremy is starting to get people following, people paying attention a little more. So I was like, let me get into there before January gets famous. Let me get on the ground floor.
I don't think the famous thing isn't ever going to come. I don't think, but I will say this: being at the Gettysburg show, having people come up going, "Hey, you're Jeremy from Warfels Morse."
Yep.
I mean, I was wearing my shirt, but like, I'm not used to it. Like that's the first time it's happened. And I had like 4 people, I think, do it, and I kind of sat. I stood there as like, yeah, like how? Like, I watch your channel all the time. I'm like, you freaking idiot! It's like that's like, why do you like? Oh, I wanted to slap myself upside the back of the head so hard.
I felt the same way. Mine was only weirder because it was I just blanked on his name. Abe. So Abe recognized me at a Tinley show, but he didn't recognize me from my Snake channel. He recognized me from my Black Geek Cool nerd channel where I was talking about comic books and stuff. So that made it even weirder because I only had like 100 people subscribed to that channel. So I was like, I'm sure no one knows me. And that made it even weirder. He didn't even know. He knew about my Snake stuff. He was like, "No, I listen to your podcast about the comic book stuff. Like, I'm listening. That's my stuff." So it is very surreal when someone actually lets you know they watch your stuff, and you have to open your mind to thinking, "Oh, there actually is people watching this, and they're following it." It's kind of weird, but awesome at the same time.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But anyway, all right, on with my story. I'm really like all over it right tonight, everybody. Like, I'm on cloud nine. I'm not gonna lie. So Chris was cleaning out these acrylic display cases he had his snakes in, and it was a couple ball pythons. And the very last one, I was an idiot. I opened my mouth up, but I wanted him to have clean stuff. So I was like, dude, your boa is like one, like let it rip here a little bit. So he goes, oh, okay. So he pulls out like these 3 little boas. Did I just hear another little bloop? Hey, wait.
Yeah, man.
What's up, Tim?
Okay.
What's
How
up?
you doing, guys?
So he hands me I think it was 3 boas, 3 or 4, and he goes, I was like, oh, dude, he's like, they look a little spicy. He goes, yeah, just don't move quick with them. I'm like, yeah, I've dealt with the carpets, no big deal. So I'm standing there holding these things, and I'm just watching them because they're cute, they're little. And didn't one just look at my thumb like too long, and he just went and latched onto it. And it wasn't like a little bite and let go. It was a bite, and he just held. And I was impressed that a little boa had actually, like, the teeth were that big on him. Like, it kind of half stung. And I just sat there. I was like, ow. And he let go, and Chris starts laughing because instantly my finger starts bleeding like crazy. It's just like, jeez. It's been like probably almost a year since Xena bit me, and now a boa drew blood on me.
Yeah, last animal that bit me, besides hatchlings, ball python hatchlings, always nipping at you. Last one was Goliath. Bit me right when I was trying to feed him. He was really ready to eat, and I didn't use a hook to open the tub. Had my hand right there and tagged it right away. Drew blood too. I was like, it only scared me because I wasn't expecting it. Like, it totally threw me off. It didn't hurt. It was just more of a surprise than anything.
Yeah. This, like, I was like, it actually like half stung a little bit. I was surprised. Is Gershon froze up for anybody else?
I think I am.
Yeah, he froze up for me too. I was like, man, he's really intent on whatever he's looking at over there.
It's like Gershon's talking like a mime, or not a mime, but like a ventriloquist now. Dang. So, all right, maybe this might
that'll be a good screen chat.
You really will. So let me back out and try to come back and see if it unfreezes.
Yeah, man, the last snake that got me is that little green tree python behind me. He didn't even have to open his mouth, man. I had him out. He's got this thing that he does where he'll just push up against and he'll start pushing on me really hard. crawled up on my head and started pushing with his mouth closed, and them teeth just came out and started digging into my head.
How old is it?
Pardon me?
How old is the green tree?
I want to say he's 3 or 4 years old. It's kind of hard to tell. I get most of my animals adopted them from other people.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I got my retics and all that stuff too. You know, I try to. I'm not a breeder or anything, so I try to adopt animals from people that either can't handle it anymore, stuff like that. So it's not really a rescue, but it's
You're saving them from a possible, bad situation, dude. I admire that.
Right. Yeah. That's cool. I mean, that's one of the things that I've been wanting to do for my videos here recently is I want to find a problem snake. I want to find somebody that's got like a 14, 16 foot retic or something like that they just can't manage and make a video of bringing it around,
Dude, well, that was one thing I wanted to add. I didn't get a chance to talk to Kusko about, but I remember the one video he had it was a pied retic, and the thing was freaking crazy.
Yeah, pieds are nuts.
And like, I mean, he's wearing I think if I remember correctly, he had like a motorcycle helmet on. I mean, he was like decked out in like full out motorcycle riding gear to work with this thing. And by the end, I mean, he was huffing and puffing trying to work with this thing.
Oh man, dude, even my 16-foot male, man, I'm huffing and puffing with him. I take him on the backyard just about every weekend, and I set him down. He runs to where he's not supposed to go, and I spend the whole afternoon running back and forth, carrying 60 pounds of snake that's trying to get away from me. So,
okay. All right, let's do pick of the week, everybody. There's 5 of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude. Like, I had what day was it? Friday. I had a couple days where I was waiting a little while for dump trucks to come back to get loaded, so I had plenty of time to look through Instagram this week. So let's start off. I don't know how small. Okay, it doesn't shrink us too bad. So this is my first pick. They are in no specific numbered order, but look at that freaking gorgeous animal there. It's a Cora Glow leopard spot nose stranger clown.
Oh,
dude, I love the head. Like the head is like,
yeah. The pattern's like kind of neon looking.
Yeah,
like it looks like it should glow in the dark. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like a
I don't know what color the like from the eyes front is though.
Mm.
Can someone help me with that?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because it's almost like a white.
Yeah, it does seem like it's just white.
Yeah, like thing's freaking beautiful. The second I saw that, I was like snapshot. Yeah, Rob. Yeah, I totally agree, Rob. That nose is freaking awesome. Now, my next one is from Danny at DTMG with his Disco Fire Clown, which going to give Danny 2 shout-outs. One is to go to Chip's channel at Regis Fear of Pythons. Danny is on for King of the Hill. It's him and Jeremy Bald. Vote for whichever snake you like. Personally, vote for Danny. Danny's an awesome dude. That's the Exantic clown he has up there. Just, you know my love for Exantic, but that thing is just nuts. So Danny's on that for King of the Hill. So go to Chip's channel. Can somebody post the link to Chip's channel for me? Or maybe I can do it here real quick.
I know I'm gonna have to binge that King of the Hill because I'm like what I think 4 episodes behind. They're all in my watch later tab.
Oh, then you missed the one where I was at that even. Because I even managed to get into it somehow.
I think I did. I have so many videos to watch from so many different people.
That's why I always find it's hard to keep up with everything. All right,
it is
thing here. Watch. Okay, here's this. Where's the? Here we go. Here we go. Copy. By the time I did this, someone probably already beat me to it. All right, good. Nobody beat me to it. My time was not
I was
wasted.
about to beat you.
Here we go. Go to that link, everybody, and vote. Bald threw up an amazing animal. Danny has an amazing animal on it. Exantic everything. That's all I gotta say. Exantic everything.
Okay.
I was actually surprised it was like because Danny had been throwing up a bunch of really like top-notch snakes here like the past couple weeks with stuff hatching, and I don't know how Chip decided which one to pick. Danny's got some fire, in which I picked up 2 babies from Danny this weekend, so there will be an unboxing coming up here soon.
Okay.
Adam, what's up? You missed Brian, dude. You're gonna have to go back and watch the first hour and 17 minutes, but he will be coming back on the channel. I'm gonna have to set a date up with him, but he's gonna be coming back on to finish my whole book of questions that I have for him. But you're in time for pick of the week. Everybody loves pick of the week. My next pick of the week is this,
Ooh.
which it's supposedly I guess the world's first phantom blood python, which I don't like the cream color of it is just freaking nuts. And the eyes pop, the eyes pop on it hardcore. That's why I never can have, I can't narrow it down to like 1 or 2, because I love blood pythons, I love the ball pythons, I love the carpets, and it seems like some people there's one week where it's just like a whole bunch of stuff that's been posted. It's like there's no way you're gonna pick between all that and just find one.
Very true. Very true.
So didn't Juggernaut just have another like world's first or something not too long ago?
I think he was on pick of the week last week too, if I'm not mistaken.
Another one that was awesome.
Yeah, with another that last week's one, I think, if it was that one, it was, I want to say it was even crazier looking pattern wise. But Adam's feeding. Adam, you always go up and click the link to come in here and join us too, bro.
I got to feed later tonight too.
I do all my feedings Friday nights. Let's see. All right, now this is why I wanted Phil to come on here. Now I gotta go, but this is from Phil at Finger Snakes, and I gotta read his message. I gotta figure out if it was text. I think it was text. All right, that there is we think it is anyway, a super hidden gene Woma Odium Enchi pinstripe.
Oh.
Which now he's posted better pictures of it since I did this snapshot. Okay. But the thing is nuts, because especially since hidden gene Woma, there should be no super. It should be a lethal combo. We originally thought it was super Odium because if you see, like this one's easy to see. It's got like a very light top and then a very dark bottom to it, but you can see a visual line, which is the big sign for Odium. So that's why we were kind of hoping and thinking it was a super Odium, but it's actually a super hidden gene Woma Odium combo. So the fact that the thing's living and breathing is a miracle. He said it does have like a wobble issue going on with it, so hopefully it lives. We'll find out though, but beautiful snake though. And then, again, Phil from Finger Snakes, because he was just posting fire out of these past couple clutches here. That one is, now I gotta find more of our text messages here. That is supposedly a pastel Enchi hidden gene Woma leopard.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wait. Yeah, pastel super Enchi leopard hidden gene Woma.
Leopard hidden gene Woma.
Yeah, but look how clean that thing is, dude.
That is super clean.
Like there's no dirt on that thing at all. I mean, the pattern is crisp. Like you would swear there's DG in that.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Like I'm looking at the other picture he has on it too. Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah. I was hoping to get to see him actually in person, but since they are hatched out so recently, he wasn't able to bring them. Yeah, Phil says it's really neat. Hopefully it lives. It does have wobble.
Mm. So is odium to odium lethal?
Apparently, from what Phil was telling me, odium to odium does nothing other than make odiums. So it's almost like it's just maybe it's the same deal like leopard to
Snake.
leopard, and you could make a super, but it doesn't. It's not a visual.
Oh.
I
So it
don't
could
know.
be or like that super pastel that's supposed to be out. No, super pinstripe that's supposed to be out there that just looks like a normal pinstripe and makes all pinstripe. I'm not saying it's not real, people. I'm not saying there's just still rumors. No one's be like, yep, here it is. This boy is just making pinstripes. So it still could be real. But okay.
Yeah, definitely Kevin had some
Pick
put
up
some
some
bangers
odium.
up there. All right, let's see here. So that is picks of the week. We lost Ken.
No.
See, now I'm on Morph Market looking at odium.
Dude,
Jesus.
Kershaw, get off the Morph Market. Just message Phil. That's all you need to do. Just message Phil. You should have seen all the stuff he had at the show, dude, with odium in it. Trust me. Just message Phil. He'll hook you up, bro.
All right, Phil, send me a list of what you got odium.
I think they're like, it's a subtle gene.
Yeah.
But once you see what it does in combos and how it interacts, it is eye catching. It definitely is eye catching. Phil says Nerd says no super odium. He says that he's only tried once. So I would almost like if you could have just do like odium to odium, like no other genes involved, and see what happens. I think that would be the best way to do it. But I don't think he has anything that's just single odium.
Morph Market is a devil.
Yes, Morph Market made me do it. Yes.
I'm gonna have to add that to the channel, like a 12-step program for Morph Market or something.
Yeah, dude, I try to stay
we'll
on.
make it a series.
Chris was kind of half poking fun of me a little bit at the show because he was there asking me about the genes and this is a snake or that snake. It's like, dude, if I'm not working with it, chances are I probably can't pick it out. He goes, well, you need to spend more time on Morph Market. It's like, no, I don't need to spend more time on Morph Market. Bad things happen when you do that. Put a hold on a.
It's both the best and the worst thing to happen.
Yeah. Just put a
Great
hold on a
marketplace for
Tesla,
snakes,
and
then
she
the rabbit
rainbow
hole.
het hypo. Nice, Jeremy and Holly. Nice.
Oh, wow.
There you go, PJ. Danny, if you ever look back and rewatch this, there you go, Danny. I did my job. I got you one vote. But yeah, definitely go go check out Chip's channel. That's too
Easy
many
for you to say.
But yeah, check out Chip's channel and vote, everybody. Vote, vote, vote. Main Squeeze, what's up? Sorry you missed Brian. He was in the first hour and 17 minutes. So go back when you get a chance and definitely rewatch that. Brian, he will be coming back on. So be ready for that because I got a lot more stuff to go over with him. I did while I was at the show because Rob was giving me a little bit of a hard time. I don't know if Rob's still in the chat or not. But everybody knows on how I need to find a male carpet python. And because I had to pair Xena up, which let me see if I can do this. Here we go. I got to pair up my beautiful little spicy angel there. With a boy for next season. So I'm really on a crunch line for when to get this done. Obviously, since next season is rapidly approaching.
Yep.
So I'm walking around the show, and I found two males that were slight contenders. One was just a plain male jungle. He looked nice, but I wanted, at least like a jungle jag male or a diamond jungle jag male. So passed on him, found a diamond jungle, which had a lot of tipping like what Xena has. And I thought, oh man, if only the jag was in there. And the price, it was like $375. I kind of have kicked myself for not getting it because the price was right. But it's like I'm not gonna. I ended up not doing it just because it wasn't exactly what I wanted. So I'm hoping in 2 weeks, Hamburg show is going on, and they've always got like a wide variety of snakes up there. So I'm hoping I can pick up something up there.
Where are you located at, Jeremy?
I'm in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like heart of Amish country.
Right.
I had to drive through a bunch of cornfields to get to his place the other week.
Probably heard the banjo's playing too, Ken.
Yeah, how was that? The cookout. How was that?
Oh, dude, it was great.
Blast.
Up until Kent and who you paired up with, Ken? Kent and
I was
Kevin.
with Kevin. He's still not shutting up about us winning in cornhole.
You guys was up at Garrett's place?
No, the party was at my house actually.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to do it like an annual thing, like every July around like the 4th of July. We're gonna do it hopefully. So it's always open to anybody that wants to come and hang out, and be with bunch of awesome breeders. But I thought I stacked the deck. I'm not gonna lie. I thought I had an instant victory, no problem, because when my son and I were playing against Danny and Matt from the Ball Python Project, Danny was like sweating. Danny was starting to really smoke heavy. He was sweating that he was going to lose his winning streak. And I thought, after I think it was Chad and myself that actually beat Danny and Matt by the time it came to actually them losing. But a little bit later, I thought, I said, you know what? I'm going to create the unstoppable team. It's like I said to Dan, like, you and me, dude. I was like, let's team up and we're gonna go knock Kent and Kevin off the boards. But there's no way in hell we were gonna lose. Wrong. I couldn't put anything in the hole. Danny was having a hard time putting anything in. It's just kind of like, what the heck happened here? So, needless to say, we lost miserably.
Yeah.
What's up, Ron? I see you in the chat.
Which one's Ron?
Main Squeeze. He's Ron.
Main Squeeze is Ron. Okay.
Yeah. He lives by me. I get rats from him here and there. I built him some racks. So yeah, we were supposed to do a project together, but then my male wasn't breeding. He's gonna give me like 3 or 4 females, but my male didn't breed. So I was like, well, keep your females, breed them to something else because my guy's not doing his job, unfortunately. That was that Desert Ghost Butter Spider male. He might have taken 1 or 2 clutches this season. I paired him with girls, never saw a lock with any girl he was with. I saw their tails close, but never saw a lock. So I have to wait till I cut eggs to see if he took a clutcher or 2.
How many clutches do you have in the incubator, Gershon?
Right now, so 2, 3 in the incubator. I have 5 right now. I have 1 girl about to lay. She's on like day 35, so she should be laying any time now. Actually, let me check her. I have another girl that is on day 20 after a pre-lay shed. I had 1 girl just ovulate a week ago, so waiting for her to go into her pre-lay shed. Have another girl I think ovulated and is in her pre-lay shed right now. I think I missed the ovulation, which I didn't realize I can do that because I'm always in their tubs. So it's weird when you miss one. Like, how did I miss this? I check on you every other hour. What are we doing? But I think it's that that issue when you look at your animals so much when they do get big, unless it's like a huge ovulation, you won't notice it. If it's just a small ovulation where it get a little swell, you won't notice it. So I think it was one of those.
I had that happen with 2 of my girls, where it's like I opened the tub up. It's like, you're a little more swollen than normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing, screaming ovulation. Didn't look like you swallowed a football.
That's why I always look for the tail suck. Like I look for the swell and the tail suck. I look for those 2 things to let me know, this is ovulation. Because you can have the swelling without the tail suck, and it's just them getting ready to ovulate. So I've had one girl do that to me. I thought she ovulated, and she didn't ovulate for another month and a half. So I thought she was egg bound, and I was worried. And then she ovulated. I was like, oh God, thank God. It just confused me. But that was closer to when I was a lot more new at breeding ball pythons.
See, Kent just got over having one of those "oh thank God" moments here.
Hey, it was 43 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine this. Antoine goes like he does ambient temperature. So he says it takes his girl, I think 50 to 60 days to lay eggs, somewhere around there.
Wow.
That's gotta be terrifying. That's
that first year must have been like nerve wracking, not knowing what the norm was.
Yep.
But I guess once you establish that baseline, it's sort of easier to
get a little more comfortable, and you don't have to worry about fires. I'm always worried about fires.
Malfunction.
Yep. Always in the back of my mind.
Gonna put this plug out here real quick for Adam at Proper Royals. He has Elaine from Creme de la Clutch on his live this Tuesday at 8 p.m.
Nice.
So make sure you guys tune into that, which it's nice to know Creme de la Clutch's actual name. I'll try to remember it, Elaine. Elaine.
I've been telling people to put their name on their Instagram somewhere there, because that's why I go right to Instagram like, what's this person's name? Because I'm so bad at names. Even if you tell me 62 times, you're gonna have to tell me 64 more times. I'm gonna forget. Don't take it personally. Memory is not good unless there's numbers. You give me a number, I can remember that for years. A name, right in and right out. I don't understand it.
Like here with James from Mean Serpents, or however you want to say it. I can't pronounce it.
He's my friend, and I still don't know how to pronounce it either. he lives right up the street from me, and I still don't know how to pronounce it right.
But that right there is the best way for me, everybody. If you just put a dash in your name or something.
Yep.
It takes a long time for me to remember names, and even more like with everybody else in like the chat and trying to remember, there's 31 people watching. I don't know how many different people are commenting, but it's hard to keep. Okay, Mihan.
Yeah, it's Mihan Serpent.
I can remember that. Mihan Solo. Okay.
If I think of it like that, that'd be easier. Yes, you work with me too, James. I don't need you to tell people that. I understand it. I got him into ball pythons more. Like he had red-tailed boas, and then he got his ball python. He was looking at it, and then he went from 1 to 17 real fast. And I was like, hey, slow down. Slow down. You're getting a lot of stuff real quickly. So now we're working on him picking up a lot more females. So he did the kind of beginning thing we all did, bought a whole bunch of beautiful males and was like, oh my God, I have way too many males. I need females now. It hits us every time. Almost everyone's gone through that. So it's a learning curve.
It is, yeah. And like with Blue Ridge here, she says about remembering students' names. I wouldn't be able to do that. I'd have to come up with that, like that guy in that commercial with the Jay Quellen. Like I'd have to come up with like stupid ways to like just really remember things like that just to
Mm.
screw with people.
Yeah.
Because yeah.
I wouldn't feel bad, man. It took me like 5-6 years to remember what I named my daughter.
See, you usually just be like, "Hey, one I gave birth to, come here, come here.
Yeah.
I need you to help me."
Oh, that's funny.
She came
So
out.
Tim,
okay,
tell us a little bit about yourself, dude, because you're kind of
wow.
a new face around here.
Yeah, kinda. I actually just started Intrepid October of last year. Started the
Okay.
channel.
Okay.
And it was I was really big into marine aquariums. I had
Okay.
seahorses, octopus, California stingrays, all nature eels and things. I had a freshwater tank. I had all that stuff, and I just got to the point where I couldn't interact with the fish as much as I wanted to. They always wanted to go back in the water and shit. And except the lionfish, I interacted with him a couple times, and that really hurt. But so I ended up getting rid of all my aquariums when I moved a few years back, and got into snakes. And I kind of just came in with both feet. I went. I think it was ball python, 5-foot female retic into a 12-foot male retic into a Nile monitor.
Oh wow!
Right off the bat, those were like those were like my first reptiles. So I crash coursed myself, handling socialization, things like that. Watched everything Kevin McCurley did about 1,500 times, and ended up getting into a retic breeding facility where I was taking care of literally hundreds of adult retics.
Nice.
And I quit my job because I had the snakes and I knew I needed to learn what I was doing with them really well. And so I went to work in there. So we had everything from hatchlings and holdbacks to 20-foot plus retics in there. And it was all week long, man, just pulling snakes. I was pretty much cleaning enclosures for peanuts, but thousands of exposures to the snakes, And when I first got started with reptiles, I remembered how hard it was to find reputable people to help.
Yeah.
You got to have somebody to mentor you, man. I mean, the smaller snakes are cool. You got to get somebody to mentor you a little bit on husbandry, but that's okay. But when a snake can mistakenly food response and hurt you, you gotta know. Same thing with the Nile monitors, man. So, I put a lot of effort into doing that. And then finally I was just like, I've got some unique experiences, and there's a lot of people out here that are buying these thousands of retics that are hitting the market without the experience. So I was like, well, I'll just, make a channel and help those people out and kind of put that information out there, stuff on handling and taking care of them, socialization, stuff like that. Just things to keep people safe with the animals, since the bigger snakes were getting a little bit more popular and stuff. Telling people not to get Nile monitors as starter lizards.
Maybe a hacky.
I've been really lucky. There was a guy. I've had one fella that actually wrote the book on Nile monitors. He just made himself available to me anytime I had questions and stuff like that. And a little practice, a little bit of time, and a couple bites and things like that. And he's doing really good. So
Sweet.
Nice.
I've always wanted a monitor, but I just don't. I don't want to take up the space for a monitor. I'll let everybody else out. I'll just enjoy watching them.
Yeah.
Like even the green ones, like the bright green. I guess they're green tree monitors.
Yeah, green tree monitors. Yeah.
How big do they get? Because I keep thinking that they should stay small, and I'm sure.
They're smaller, within a couple feet, I think.
Oh,
so
really?
Those would be pretty manageable. They still need the arboreal enclosure and whatnot, but they stay a manageable size.
Oh, okay. Maybe
like
that's.
I'm in kind of a conundrum right now because my Nile monitor, I've got to triple his enclosure size this summer. He's 5 feet long now, and I've got a bathtub attached I expanded his old enclosure and built a bathtub into it with a cage around it with platforms and branches and stuff like that. And he had more than enough room when I put him in there. He took up maybe half the tub or something like that. And now he stretches out the length of the tub. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, now I'm going from a bathtub. I need to find a 300-gallon tub to put in there, plumb in, and then build the enclosure around that.
Mm.
They take up the space, man, but they're awesome to work with. Mine, once I get him outside on the leash, that's where he really, dude. That is where he is just so much fun. He puts up a little fight sometimes going out, but I'll get him out there. I've got creeks in my backyard, and he'll walk out to the creeks and just start swimming.
Oh wow!
Oh, he's such a joy to work with. Yeah, he's a lot of fun.
That would be neat.
Yeah.
I'm sure you get some looks too. You're walking around. You got this. One people probably envision as a Komodo dragon on a
Yeah.
I got two neighbors that can see my backyard. So
okay.
Yeah, the one older guy, he's he just stays away. The other guy's about his time with snakes and everything. So, and that was a
lizard guy outside again. Jeez.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, it was funny because I don't do this full time. I work for a natural gas contractor.
Okay.
And I do GPS locating and the new services and so forth and mapping everything. So I'm in the field all the time. We had to come back into the office to excuse me, to get some updated on our GPS systems. And I found out later on that day, man, that as soon as I left, they put my channel on the damn TV at work and everybody was watching it all day.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So,
yeah, it's weird when people you work with learn what you do outside of work.
Yeah.
You get weird questions.
Oh yeah.
How do you deal with all those animals in the house? They have their own room. They're not just free roaming. What do you guys think? It's not like a puppy. It's not running around the house.
Yeah. I've got people going, "Oh, you're the snake guy, right?" Yes, I'm the snake guy.
Oh, do you guys get this? You send random snakes to be like, "What is this snake?" It's like, I don't know every snake in the world. What are you doing? That's not how this works.
It kind of, all right, one
Every
day,
news article.
This is really sad, but I had high hopes for it. One of my dump truck drivers sent me a picture. He goes, "Hey, I saw this big snake alongside of the road. It's nothing native. What is it?" It was a ball python along the side of the road. And it was, I forget, I mean, it was not a normal. It was a morph of some sort. I forget exactly what it looked like.
Okay.
I think it's like Orange Dream is, for whatever reason, sticking in my head. And I told him, like, dude, I think, turn around and pick that thing up. He goes, he sends back, he goes, "I'm scared to death of snakes." Like, turn around and pick it up. It's like, just do it, dude. I was like, put it in a bucket, something. Put it in the bed of the truck. I don't care. Just bring it back here and I'll deal with it. He goes, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yes, bring it here." Because, I mean, this thing, it was somebody's pet that, where they had seen it, there's a vet office nearby. So I don't know if it got out from the vet office, maybe. And he actually went back to the snake. And he goes, "Dude," he goes, "this isn't going to work." I was like, "What do you mean it's not going to work?" He goes, "Someone ran over it. Like, its head was smashed." I was, I don't want to say sad. Like, I was sad about it, but like, it's like, why would you go out of your way? I mean, the thing was along the side of the road.
Yeah, you had to intentionally go.
Yeah, you intentionally had to go for it. I felt really bad. I mean, it was a decent sized looking snake too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
people are terrible like that. That's to really push the public education stuff on folks as much as I can. You know, I'm not going to run up and drape a snake over their shoulders or nothing like that. But I mean, like, we've got a event. Rob and Jeremy are directors for the Carolina Herpetological Society. That when they moved down here, they started that because NCARC isn't really all that strong and organized right now. So we got that started. They got a board of directors set, getting ready to get the 501, all that stuff taken care of. But we're doing a public education thing with the Science Center and the Parks Department. I've already been down and talked to animal control and all that stuff. And I'm cording off an area where we can get out. We're bringing an 18-foot retic, 5-6 foot monitor lizard out there, and some other big reptiles. and it's just going to be a big free public event where people can come by and just get exposure,
Yeah.
Mhm.
see them and see that, I don't know how we're going to work a lot of the, I don't know how we're going to work or any real handling, just because we got to watch the regs and public safety and all that stuff. But,
Yeah,
you know,
don't
if
want
I
to get sued by somebody.
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. I mean, I've got a berm that I could bring down that I would trust with anybody. My female retic I trust handling, but it's they still got to really watch that stuff. But I mean, it's always pushing that stuff, man. Just because people have got, I get that shit all the time at work. Man, I can't do snakes. I kill a snake. Like, yeah, tough guy, whatever.
Kevin, I'll get you the link here in a minute. Wills, first, I want to hit this. Aline said about my live with Danny, had her cracking up. Thank you for watching that. If anybody hasn't seen that live, go back and check that out. That was last week's live. If you do not start laughing at some point pretty hysterically, there's probably something wrong with you. Especially when Danny starts talking about the odds gods. If you don't laugh at the odds gods part, yeah, that was all I can say is that live probably was the most, was the only live I've laughed that much at. It was absolutely hilarious. I greatly had a great time with Danny on the live stream. And what's even cooler is at the next Gettysburg show, which I will be vending at, everyone. So November, what is the date? Phil, if you beat me to it, it's November. Date that it's November 12th, I believe. So I will be set up at the Gettysburg Reptile Show. So that will be awesome. And I'm actually, my table's right beside one of Danny's tables. So it will be a bunch of conundrum and chaotic funny ha-has going on, I'm sure. All right. And Will,
yeah, it seems like everybody already is telling Will, sounds like she's cooling. So she's trying to breed. So if you got a male you want to throw with her, that's what it sounds like she's doing. That's a sign that she's ready to breed. If she's big enough, throw a male in there with her, see if they lock. Unless you're not ready for a clutch, then wait.
Here's the link, Kevin. If anybody else wants to hop on too, you guys feel free. I think the max for the free StreamYard is like 6 or something like that.
Yeah, I think you get 6, maybe 8, somewhere around there.
So 6 sounds about right.
Yeah, Tim, just so you know, I have put you on the list of people to ask to be on my live, just so I will be asking you as I'm going down the list.
Yeah, awesome, man.
I'll put you on the list because you have big snakes and lizards, so that'd be something new to talk about on the show too. So
right,
just look out for a message in the near month or two.
That'd be cool, man. Yeah, I'd be happy to. It's I'm kind of out of place here because so many of the groups are all ball python breeders.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I kind of keep waiting for a joke or something to pop up. Ball python morphs.
I mean, so is that a green tree python behind you?
It is.
Oh, nice. Yeah. What locality is it?
Aru.
Oh, okay. Those are the nicer ones. Yeah. Those are the ones that you can actually handle a little bit. They're not as much of. Oh, they. I had
that was handleable.
I had a Biak that I got to let me handle eventually. Like when I first got him, he was like, "This is my area. You don't come near this." Striking every second.
Tricky. He'll throw you for a curve, man. He's never struck at me before.
Okay.
Let me know that he can.
Okay.
I got big freaking reptiles downstairs, and when I open that cage right there, I'm nervous.
Understandable, because they're so quick.
He just looks at me, man. He's like, I don't know if I like your head today. And he's always perched up there.
And they're hard to read at times too. They're real hard to read. Like I had the Biak, and then I had an emerald tree boa. So I had her right before she started her color change. So she was
yeah.
orange and went to green.
Oh, nice.
Loved her so much. She bit me at least 3 times in the amount of me taking care of her.
Nice.
But they have the longest fangs, so it's not a bite you want to take.
No.
But they're
like I said, man, it's
amazing
the weirdest
animals.
thing with this one because he just pushes his face against you. Anyway, he'll come up. He's come up before and just kind of started really pushing his face into my mouth and all that. And I was just like, how are you doing, bud?
That is interesting.
He's weird. His whole body will start shaking, like when they start pushing on the glass. Same thing. He'll just start pushing on me. As long as he keeps his mouth closed, man, I ain't worried about it.
I'm okay with it.
See, that was the last time Xena bit me. She was pushing her face up against my arm. And then the next thing you know, she just opens her mouth up and just grabs my arm. Like, freaking, like, she let go right away. But I was like, really? Was that needed? Like, come on now.
My carpet got me one time, but that was just, he missed the rat. He got a hold of my hand.
Okay.
No, her record was 10 times in one handling when she was younger. Now, now I can get her out no problem. But no, with your green tree, dude, my Biak, you could get her out during the day, calm as could be. I treated her basically like a ball python during the day. At nighttime, you had to stay at least 5-10 feet away from that cage because she would strike at anything that moved around that cage. Usually on a hair trigger.
Yeah. I had my red-tailed boa was like that. She would strike at her tub anytime you were in the room. Especially if she smelled rats, she was ready. Just ready. I had one ball python was like that, ready every time hitting the tub.
And see, like with these guys, at nighttime, I will not go in the cage at all. Like right there with what Tim's doing.
Tim is being very brave right now.
Oh yeah, he is.
I would definitely make sure it was daylight when I was messing with the green tree or my emerald, making sure it's daylight.
Yeah, no, like with the carpets, once their little light goes out, they know it's nighttime, and that if something's coming in there, it's food. Here, we'll put Tim up on the big.
Oh, nice job.
Let me.
He's
a big boy too.
He's pretty chill once you get him out. He's being really incredibly lazy right now.
I'd take lazy over spicy at the moment.
He popped up.
You don't like somebody there. He's looking down there in the corner, I think. Gershon, you might be in trouble, brother.
He might know. He's like, oh, you've had one of us on. You get angry with us.
Right?
Oh,
I love those perches.
Nice size.
Yeah, he is nice size.
Good size.
I do want to get another one at some point. I really do.
You okay, buddy?
I have this like want list. It's like I want to get a white lead python thanks to Chris.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to get another green tree. I've got the carpets. I just need to get the rest of the snake room done and things set up to where I have the room to have a few that are just pets, not necessarily breeding.
Right.
I want to get another blood python or a Sumatran short-tailed too.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got stupid space requirements for my wish list. I'm just a big snake fanatic. I really want to get a green anaconda in here.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need a lot of space for one.
Yeah.
And I want to get one and build the aquatic enclosure and things like that.
Okay.
Kind of run adjacent to the Nile monitor enclosure because he needs a damn swimming pool anyway. So him, one of the sail fins, Hydrosaurus sail fin dragons.
Oh,
I don't know if you've ever seen the pictures of those, man, but they're just gorgeous. You see some melanistic ones with ice blue eyes. Just amazing looking lizards, man. And false water cobras on a list.
Very neat.
There may be a couple. I'm just really fixated on the anacondas because I think they're just absolutely gorgeous, man.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna come off your stick or what?
Dude, they're so like my next locale I get of a green tree. I've told myself it's got to be a sorong just because I want that beautiful blue stripe that they get. And those
Mhm.
sky blue markings that it seems like they really normally have more than any of the other locales I've noticed. That's my must. It's got to have that in order for me to drop the hammer on it.
Yeah. It just takes forever to get him off the perch sometimes.
Yeah, and then the tail. Like I've noticed, like with the carpets, you'll start to pull them out, and you think, okay, they're gonna come out real easy, and then the last little bit of the tail wraps up again, wraps onto something. It's like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Yeah, mine does that all the time. He'll do that now walking through a doorway or something like that. I mean, he's so fast, he'll get a hold of a doorknob. You know, you really got to watch him.
Hey, Mark, thanks for tuning in, brother. Mark, in case you're wondering where Brian's at, he could only give us a little bit over an hour. So the first like hour and 17 minutes was with Kusko. So now we're just kind of doing a hangout, kind of like a hair down Sunday. See, now that's even more brave.
Yeah.
Green tree at night around the neck.
Yeah.
Living on the edge.
He's never bit me like this before.
Well, everybody,
not to say it's not
firsthand.
possible. This might be the first time. I think the worst. I don't know. Taking a couple bad snake bites by some big retics. I think probably the bite that I liked the least was my Nile was just pushing 5 feet at the time, and I picked him up, just went in the enclosure, grabbed him, threw him on my shoulder. A second later, he had my spine in his mouth, on the back of my neck.
Jeez.
That sucked.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't let go. He just sat there.
Oh, he held on to?
Yeah, just hanging on to my spine. And, of course, I'm not going to pull him off because I'm like, man, he's going to take a piece of my neck with him. And
True.
He finally let go. And then all 4 legs are on my arm upside down and wouldn't let go. And a lesson learned, to not just go in and snatch him out of his enclosure when you don't want to be messed with.
Hey, Will, with you saying about you've never paired snakes before and it's your first year breeding, go and check out my ball python breeding series I have on my channel. It's actually a playlist. It's got a whole bunch of videos in it. I should say a whole bunch. It's got 6 maybe. But pairing is one of those videos. It's got a whole bunch of stuff like getting males back on food, all that good stuff. So go check that out. It might be a very helpful playlist for you to watch. If you haven't watched it already, you may have already watched those videos too. I still have to finish up. See, here's my thing. I have, for the first time ever, I have too many videos.
Oh, yeah. I'm running into that myself with breeding season. I have so many clutch pulling videos, clutch cutting videos, and I'm trying to stick to just putting one video out a week. And it's like, do I double up, put 2 videos out? And I don't want people to get used to that and me try to continue to do that many videos. That's going to kill you. So it's, do I make longer videos, put 2 videos together, make it 2 videos? And it's like, oh my goodness. That is a worry because you don't want to run out of too much content. And then you don't also want to have too much content just sitting around.
Yeah. Well, see, I have 7 videos edited, ready to upload.
Oh, wow.
So, but here's the thing. Like, all right, I have those 7 videos. I just picked up 3 snakes at the Gettysburg show. There's an 8th video. Or actually, no, that's one of the 7. I've got another video to film yet on a different pickup that I got from Chris. So, like, I've got a clutch cutting tomorrow night that's going to get filmed. So, and I've got to get these facility tours out because I'm sure everybody's waiting to see part 2 of Chris's facility tour. So that will be this week's video, everybody. I'm not going to keep you all hanging on that one. So that will be this week's video, I promise. Had to hold on to the content for the lulz. That's true. So, well, Kai, do you have time to hop on here, dude? Because here's like we could talk about this too for a little bit. Just like how do you know when to drop said content, or when to and what content is good to hold? Because like
Smart
Kai,
Kai.
because Kai's saying about holding on to content for the lulls, but
Yeah.
at the same token, like if you
I
hold
think-
on, like for say facility tours, if you hold on to those videos too long, hey, Kai, that's all right. We'll just put black boxes around it. It's okay.
Just be really damn careful where you point the camera, dude. You'll be all right.
Exactly. Just hit it right in your face.
It's just like being in a locker room. You just keep your eyes forward.
Eyes straight up.
But you are, dude. I mean, if you're not, then whatever.
Here,
Oh,
Kai.
no.
Here.
So I'm
Okay,
thinking
Kai.
he's talking about like either
Like,
how-to videos or you building something video. The room tour, I would think you put that out. So you could hold on that for a little bit, unless it's the second part of the room tour, right?
Yeah, it's part 2. Yeah, part 1's
So,
already been out for.
I think you could
came out
throw 2 videos in between there, and then put the room tour video up.
Yeah, see, that's kind of where I was kind of doing it.
And you can kind of promote it too. Like, hey, it's coming out. The second part of this video is coming out in 2 weeks. Get ready for it. If you haven't watched the first one, go watch the first. So it's a little bit of promotion there too.
Yeah, that's true. Like my big thing is like with the pickups I've gotten, like there's 5 pickups that have not been shown off yet at all, and 3 of them, are from yesterday. But it's like that's content. Like those are pictures I want to put up on Instagram yet too. So I can't put those pictures up yet technically because I want people to come and watch the videos first.
True.
It's just like it has me in a conundrum there as to how can I like remedy the situation.
True, because you got to figure out a way to use all your other social medias to push to the one you want to grow the fastest or need to get help growing. Because I've been trying to do that with TikTok, putting up clips of the podcast on there to try to get people to go watch the full podcast. Clips of videos of me cutting, get people to go watch the full video on YouTube. Trying to keep your video separate to one topic.
Danny. Oh, sorry, Gershon.
True. No, I was.
I saw Danny, like Danny's so straight and blunt to the point. He just
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. With that kamikaze style, just throw it up there. When you make it, throw it up there.
Like the one, Danny. I hope you don't mind me sharing this, bro. Because it's funny, but I felt really bad for him at the same token. He cut a clutch. What was it, Ken? A couple days ago. It was like right before Gettysburg. I think he cut this clutch, and I don't remember. Was it? It was Friday, Thursday or Friday? Yeah. Let me find it, and it should have been he should have hit Visual Exantics, and good God, our chat is like nuts with freaking comments and pictures.
That makes sense.
You can just go find the picture he sent if you click on the info thing at the top.
Side note: when is Danny gonna get his YouTube channel? Let's see what's that. What we talking about, Danny? When we gonna put up a channel? I just searched so I can make sure I was subscribed to Danny's channel, and I don't see it. So
no,
he'd film the whole years of content in a week and drop it on one day. I'm done with that. Nerd.
Yeah. He's like, that was
Yeah,
fun.
nerd.
Let's do something else.
We're Danny always calls us a bunch of nerds.
You got a good point there, Adam. I read it. You got a good point there.
Anyway, I can't
That is
find
smart.
the picture, but the pairing should have had a bunch. Like he should have hit a decent amount of Visual Exantics, at least like half the clutch, and he only got one spider exantic. That was it, I think. There was no other visual exantics. I think it's just one spider exantic, and he was furious because he always says
What are you
basically "f the odds gods," and that's it. Then you have everybody else cutting clutches, and they're hitting like these outstanding odds. It's just
Yeah.
like Nathan just cut a clutch. I think it was yesterday. He cut a clutch and threw up pictures of it, and he had great odds in it. And it's just like I told Dan's like Nathan's stealing all the mojo from the odds gods.
Mm.
Yeah, Phil, the odds gods are nice to you, dude. They are.
Yeah.
Nice to you.
I got terrible odds on a clutch I cut about 2 weeks ago. Everything is male, and that wasn't a clutch I wanted everything to be male in, so that hurt. Hopefully, that's the clutch where my bad odds are, and the rest of my clutches I get the good odds from, because that was it was 5 eggs, no females in either of those eggs, all 5 male, and I was like, oh, that hurt.
That hurt. Yeah. Dan said here is with his double head clown pie. So, yeah. Like I felt so bad, but like here, I could just picture and hear the ranting and raving going on as he's cutting and he's getting these crap odds. Before I forget too, have a sticker shout out from KK Morse. Really cool sticker from Germany. I honestly thought either it got lost in the mail or something happened to it, because I sent them stickers like a long time ago, and I finally got mine. So I don't know if it got lost in like transit or what, but it's pretty cool to get them. Yeah, I agree, Phil. I agree. Danny would be at 1,000 subs in like 2 months tops. Danny would run a good channel. He might be red flagged on a lot of it, but it would be a good channel. Oh, shoot.
So you hear it already, Danny. We're ready for the channel, so go ahead and go start it. Get it started. Post that first video.
Well, I tried to get him to come on. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, anybody that just hopped on, Tuesday night after Adam from Proper Royals is live, I'm throwing up a random, it's only going to be like 30-minute quick live, nothing big major. We're going to be going over some of the stuff that's being donated for the 1K giveaway. For when we do hit 1K, we've got a lot of killer stuff. Danny's being like super freaking generous. I can't thank him enough for what he's donating. But you have to join. You have to watch live to find all that stuff out. He says, "I have no full-time job," and
yeah, rats.
Yeah,
breeding
Danny's
rats.
He's got a lot of rats he works with too. But yeah, you'll have to tune in to Tuesday night after Adams. Like I said, 9:30. Adams probably, hopefully, done around that or wrapping it up. So hopefully we don't kind of collide. I tried to do it before or after, and it seemed like around 9:30 was the better time for everybody. But Danny doesn't want to come back on. Danny doesn't want to come back on. And he claims that I killed his mojo at the Gettysburg show by him coming on the live stream. So I've scared him off from that one. But Danny, while you're in here, dude, I told Dom that we're gonna be vending beside you, and Dom is like super excited. Oh, there's Kai.
Oh, Kai put clothes on.
He's got clothes.
I had to go do my laundry.
Oh man, I gotta check out the aquarium now.
Yeah, it's back there.
Yeah, here,
That's what I was working on while I was naked.
Oh,
I was swimming.
that was
I was
the wrong
swimming in it.
picture.
All right, I'm gonna get later, guys.
All right, kid.
Cool
Nice.
aquarium, dude. See you, Kat.
I did
Oh,
miss
it is nice.
That is neat, dude.
Yeah, it used to be filled with corals. and then I got two anemones, and they have toxins, so they just started walking around and stinging on my corals. So now they're all that's left now.
It's like we're gonna take this tank over one way or another.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing when they
Yeah.
split too.
Mhm.
Sit there and watch it. You almost watch them. They split.
Yeah, I started with two, and
Mhm.
then at some point I counted like 45 or 46, and then I started
Yep.
selling them. And I think now there's like still 30, and if you look closely around, you'll see like little babies popping up. So they
Yeah.
start out like bright pink, and then they just get bigger. And I think the little babies are not like purposely split. They're just like a torn piece that were left from the mother colony splitting off, and then somehow they just started to generate a
Right.
mouth and tentacles and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Mhm. See, that's the kind of setup I want in the living room where I can just have a ramp for the monitor lizard to jump up and just start swimming. I mean, without the anemones in there, of course.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, I like
So-
having the setups like this. I try to do one for the snake room, but and that's what the white lips were supposed to be for. They were supposed to be for like a display. Like I just wanted one with like an orange background, so it kind of matched my logo.
Yeah.
But like I just couldn't get it to tame down, and I just felt bad that it kept like thumping against the tub every time I walked by.
So it legit was trying to get to you.
Yeah, yeah.
They can be
I-
grumpy, man.
I started with a female, and the female I put in a quarantine. So like it's in a corner of the room, so like nobody ever goes there except me when I have to go there to, manage and maintain and clean and feed and all that stuff. So I started to do the target training with her. So I just took like a stick and put a ball at the end, and then
Yeah.
she started to come out. So because they're very territorial, they're very like defensive when they're in their own tub. But once you get them out, they're much more calmer. So rather than me sticking my hand in and then she's trying to strike at me because she's trying to get me out, I have her target trained so that she would come out following the target and then
Okay.
onto my hand. And then at that point, she's much calmer. And that worked really well in the quarantine area. But then after 2 months, I added her to the snake room. And then she just kind of forgot all about the target training, and then she started thumping against the tub, and I was like, this is not going to work. And my kids go in my snake room once in a while, so I'm like, what if they opened up that tub by accident? And things going to be like "Brr," right in your face.
See, that's like with Xena. I've realized that, like you said, she's very territorial. If you're in the cage, she doesn't like it. But if you open the top and you rub her with the snake hook, let her know, hey, you're not being fed, and kind of lift her up a little bit with the hook, that she can realize, hey, I can come out. She's a lot easier to deal with than trying to forcefully get her out, because she does not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did miss you at Gettysburg, Kai.
I missed you
There's
guys
a-
too, man. You guys have
There's a
some.
few
You bet,
people on this. What's that?
yeah, I saw a lot of the posts on Instagram. Everybody was there, like they're having a good time. I had other things to do with the family, so obviously I couldn't go. But I didn't have anything to sell either, so it's like
Oh, come on,
It would've
Kai.
been- it
You
would've been
gotta
tough.
Yeah,
have
how's-
something to sell.
How's your season going, Kai?
I'll start hatching this week. So
Okay.
So this week I should
Okay.
start hatching, and hopefully I'll have like a clutch every week. Sometimes I'll have 2 clutches a week, but then the following week there won't be anything. And that's kind of like what I was talking about with like holding on to the content for those lulls, so that
Mhm.
you might have like 3 clutches that hatch in 1 week, and then a whole month without any clutches, so there's no content. So if you hold on to it, then you can just spread it out and just release them every week. That way, your viewers have something to watch, and you're
True.
not pressed to like force yourself to make content.
True.
But what's your, because Gershon, like we had been talking there, like with Gershon, about like a time limit slightly as to, like with facility tours, say, you drop part 1. How long do you wait till you drop part 2?
Oh, you probably need to have some continuity and just drop it like whatever your schedule is. If you're releasing it once every week, 1 video a week, then you probably just want to drop the second one the following week.
Okay.
Unless your facility's not done, unless it's like kind of a like
In the
watch
process
me,
build.
yeah, like a process,
Yeah.
watch me build it or something like that. Because I did that last year, and I was like dropping videos every so often because I couldn't work on the room every single day. So it's whenever I felt like there was enough progress made to warrant some video, some kind, just to show there's some. And sometimes like it's not even. Sometimes people don't want to see that, to be honest. Well, people don't care. It's like, oh, look, he built a frame. Ooh, what did he do? I mean, to me, I'm like, I just spent 3 days building this frame while, the kids are at school or the wife's away and stuff like that. And I'm like very proud of it. And then you get like one view after the first 4 hours. And it's like, I don't think people want to see this stuff. So.
Yeah. That is the other thing, trying to figure out what people want to see on your channel. Like, yes, you're making content for you, but also for people to ingest. And you want to make stuff they're going to want to see, unfortunately. Yeah. And it's always a guessing game because some days I want to see DIY stuff. And other days, I just want to see what you hatched out. So you throwing things in there, figuring out what catches and what doesn't. It helps you figure out which way to go with your content and how to better shoot your content for your audience.
Right.
People always say you make your content for you. You start out doing that, yes, of course. But then you build an audience, and then you have to cater to that audience a bit. Like, you have to give and take with that. Do stuff you like and do stuff they like.
Yep. Yeah, all true. And I think it depends on depending on the content. I was kind of just bitching about my DIY videos, but like, those don't really take off. Those you see like continuous views over and over again, because when other people are building their snake room, then that's when they look for your videos. Yep. So you'll see that consistently grow. Whereas like an egg cutting video of your Desert Ghost, or now since Desert Ghost is hot, you'll probably get a lot of views, but maybe 2-3 years down the line when Desert Ghost cools down, that video is not going to continue getting views anymore. So it all depends on the content. So for those of you guys who are, making content, don't get discouraged if your video doesn't take off.
Yeah. Well, and I also think like egg cuttings, like for me anyway, it seems like egg cuttings are like that year, because by then it has like that giant spike and then it just drops. Like every once in a while, my first cuttings, I'll get like a view or two on them, maybe a month. But normally it's everything else is getting all the majority of the views.
Yeah.
One thing that's really frustrating on this end is the video I've got, all the snake stuff, all lizard stuff I got on here. When I look at my 48-hour view little graph there, my damn first prairie dog video has got triple the views of my damn biggest snake video every time. And I'm like, I've already done all this stuff I could do on prairie dogs.
I ain't got no more prairie dog content. Yeah. Why you guys like this?
Yeah. And then I think that was the biggest one. And then the next biggest one was the video that I put out when Keenan's place got broke into. And just getting awareness out for that. I'm like, well, I can't remake that. I can't. Nobody else has got broken into, so I have no more videos there. So it's tricky as hell trying to figure out what to do next.
Yeah.
Like my big thing I've yet to understand, and I kind of like root against my own channel to an extent. I pulled up here. Like my highest viewed video is my Insane Boas video which is basically a facility tour of my buddy Mike's place of all his boas. And with it one, it's not my stuff. And two, it's boas and not ball pythons or carpet pythons. So I'm like, come on, it's like my channel is based around carpets and ball pythons. So it baffles me that the boas are in such a high viewing thing. So like I always take a tally. And I'm like, okay, if my carpet python video is doing better than the boa video, I'm happy. I want to see that carpet python above the boa. And right now it is.
Also those weird factors of the thumbnail too. The thumbnail brings people in for some reason, get them just to click the video. That's a factor too. You got to look at. Is it a thumbnail that gets people to click? Is it the clickable thumbnail? That's also something I'm trying to pay attention with my videos. Change the thumbnail up. I've been putting my face in my thumbnails lately because I had a couple people tell me like faces get clicked on YouTube. So when your face is on the thumbnail, it gets clicked more. So I'm not saying I'm the prettiest man out there, but I'm doing my best trying to get those clicks.
My face doesn't get clicked on, just so you know.
Yeah, I think with the insane boa
I put my
video,
face on my thumbnails and they don't get clicked on. They get avoided.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I think
face,
my
guys.
views don't have my face on them. It's got the animals on there. I don't want to see.
See, I try to do the same thing. I mean, like unboxings, I throw myself up on there, but like with the insane boa video, it is a catching thumbnail. I mean, it's my buddy's sun dragon in a tree. So you have the green and the browns of the tree. You have this snake that looks like it's got a filter. It's like glowing neon red almost. So it does look like it's completely edited, and I swear, everybody, it is not edited by any means. That snake glows. It is neat. I do love that snake, but I'm still sour that it's the highest viewed video.
What if you put the same thumbnail on another video, but just put a different title on it?
Titles too. Titles another thing. Titles make a difference. It's there's so many little factors. It's so weird when you start diving into how to make your YouTube channel pop, how to get people to click. Even the tags you put on there. Apparently, even in the order you put the tags in matters too now. And I was like, when did that happen? I thought you just put the tags in there and be good. You have to put them in a certain order now.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Will says when he's browsing live interviews, the guest pick is what draws him to it more.
Okay.
So, I've also I have some of my original thumbnails made up already, so I didn't go back and redo the thumbnails. But oh snap! All right, holy bejesus! Look at that. See,
holy bejesus!
Adam came to see Kai naked, I think.
You missed it, Adam. You missed it. I was naked in the dark earlier.
Look, between Jeremy,
you had a mermaid tail on in the fish tank behind.
Yeah.
He's just floating and flopping nicely.
So Adam is actually the greatest person to have right now because Adam knows a lot more about the thumbnails, the tags. I thought you did well. You know about the tags at least.
I try maybe the hardest. Doesn't mean I know the most. I might waste the most amount of time at it. No, I use my favorite thing lately is using Canva. They got killer templates that.
Okay.
But the templates are the thing I like about Canva is the templates are editable, so to speak. So that you can change them and make them your own. So that even if you like something from that template, you can grab that and drop it into the template you're working on. Kind of thing. So then suddenly it feels like your own rather than it looking like what is it like AOL used to have like 4. I don't know. You can
Gotcha.
It's more than just like. There's tens of thousands of templates, and then you can mix and match them. So I like those, and then I do use I don't know if it works, but I do use Tube Buddy for the SEO stuff. So I'll search topics and either shoehorn a video I just made into a topic that gets a really high rating, or I'll actually do that just to get ideas, and then I keep a list of like, oh, there's a show idea I can come up with. So when I have a creative block, because in the moment when you're like, all right, I got 2 hours Saturday, I'm gonna make a video, and then Saturday 2 hour opening comes, and you're like, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I understand. I've been there.
Yeah, me too. I got wine.
Yep.
Krishan, how you been, man? I was thinking about you the other day, man. I meant to drop you a line, but I didn't.
Man, I've been meaning to reach out to you. I've been good. Just busy.
Good,
just
man.
busy.
Well, busy's better than not busy, man.
Very true. True. Got to build a couple hatchling racks. I need to build a new incubator because I'm getting way more eggs than I thought I was gonna get.
Good, man.
So it's a positive and negative because now I have to dedicate more time and build some stuff that I wasn't ready to build. But That's all part of the process sometimes.
Yeah, man. I'm pumped. I just finally got inventory. It was just a little pet clutch, but man, finally I'm like, yes, I have something I can work at selling. I gotta get them to eat and all that, but it'll be good, man. Kai, what's up, man?
You cut them the other night.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I did. How you been, man?
Busy.
Good.
Busy.
Good, man. You are killing it. I've been seeing your clutches, man.
Thanks, man.
You any closer to making the jump full time?
No, I don't even have clothes to wear. That's why I was naked earlier.
Sounds like a nice trade-off to me, man. like that's my vision. I'm not.
I mean, thank goodness we can work from home. Otherwise, I think I would get written up all the time at work.
I just get, this is the George Costanza model, man. I just get dressed to go on YouTube live streams, and then I just hang out naked with Snake.
That's why you only see the upper half of my body.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. The work from home model.
Yeah.
Being summoned. I'll be back in 5.
All right.
Okay.
So, what's everybody's next clutch that they're cutting?
I have a clown clutch. The female is actually, I cut this one already. The female is a yellow belly, spot nose head clown. And the male, I put 2 males to her, but now I know the second one actually started the clutch. And it's supposed to be a pastel spot nose Russo clown, but I haven't been able to identify Russo in any of the hatchlings yet. They're still in the egg, so we'll see. And then the next one is Ultramel Pied.
Nice.
Double header,
visual Ultramel Pieds?
I'm hoping for the double visual.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Then you can buy you some clothes, man.
Yeah.
I know. We'll have to sell some stuff first.
Pants.
Then we can see the bottoms.
Yeah.
Socks or something.
So for me, my next 2 clutches, which are one's on day 54 and one's on day 52. The first one is a lavender albino het clown to a pos het clown. It's only a 1 egg clutch. She only gave me 1 viable egg. Wow. First time girl. So fingers crossed I hit a clown and she's worth her weight in gold now. And the second clutch is a lavender albino het clown or a pied yellow belly het clown to a inchy het clown. I think I got 6 eggs out of that. No, 5. So unless I hit yellow bellies in that clutch, I won't necessarily know who the father is. Unfortunately. So that might be a hold back clutch. The whole clutch might get held back just to try to figure something out. Even though I don't need clown het pieds because I have a double het and I have a visual, I do need clown het lavender albinos to get that grail project going. So it wasn't the smartest thing to do, but one guy wasn't breeding, so I threw the other guy in. So you know how that goes.
You know who else is working on the grail project?
Who?
Phil Snyder.
Yeah, Phil.
Oh.
Let me be the dumb guy in the room. What's the difference between the Grail and the Holy Grail? Is that the ghost?
So isn't the Holy Grail the pied? Okay.
Yeah,
so yeah, it's a pied lavender albino clown is the Holy Grail, which I'm going to be working on that in a year. What was that?
So a clown dreamsicle?
Yep.
Why do we rename it? That's what it is.
You should ask Phil. Phil should jump on here and discuss this with us. That's the whole reason I mentioned his name. Come on, Phil.
So I think I don't want to say Justin renamed it. Let me not even put that out. I don't know who renamed it Holy Grail and surpassed just the Grail and made it Holy Grail. But I kind of understand because it's a triple.
Yeah.
Triple recessive and I don't know.
I would think if we were going to go for something holy and a triple, it would have ghost. I mean, not to get all,
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Anyway, Yeah,
I like Amelia.
that's true. That's true. I'm not the hip guy in the room. Yeah, I
It's
got
a cool factor. It's a cool factor.
Yeah, yeah. Kai will be very proud of me. My next clutch is a leopard het pied female, and I bred her to a banana pied. And then I got antsy, and I bred her to an orange stream het pied. And then I thought it'd be fun to throw in a yellow belly Enchi het pied. And then I bought the pied het albino that you produced, that you used to breed, and so I paired her to him too. And we'll see what the eggs are here on.
But so all the males are het pied or visual pied, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And she's a het pied.
Yeah, leopard het
Okay.
pied.
Okay.
So that's going to be a fun cutting. Like, so if I see a banana, I'll know it's 100% het pied. Anything else that's not visual, I'll have to call 66% because I won't know if I won't know.
One or the other, yeah, if it's a dual or dual.
So yeah,
sire.
that is another thing. If it's a dual sire clutch, that pie could have got that one. That banana could have got that one pie, and everybody else could have been by a different father.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying through the whole. I'm saying snake per snake. Like I'm gonna have to go visual.
So wait, you
banana,
use 4 or 5 males.
He pimped her out to 5 different males.
I was like, man, girl, you're gonna produce this year. I had enough of this.
Hey, somebody gonna get you pregnant.
That's right.
It's gonna happen.
That's like what Tracy Morgan. Everybody getting pregnant in here. Like,
Oh wow!
so
I just
See, it's good to know I'm not the only one doing that.
Man, I don't have an ultrasound, and last year I did a het to het, and I got skunked on 7 offspring, and I was like,
I
you know
remember
what,
that
man?
one,
I'm gonna just stack them, man. So it's gonna be fun. Actually, I kind of hope it is a dual or triple or quad sire. I mean, how cool would that be? Get an Enchi and a banana in the same pied in the same clutch. So
Yeah.
That would be
we'll
nice.
see.
That would
We'll
be
see.
interesting. It might,
And then the visuals, if there's no other identifying genes, I'd have to call possible het albino as well, because that male that I didn't get it from you, Kai, but I got it secondhand after the guy bought it from you. He's het albino too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
my next
Ooh.
clutch cutting is tomorrow.
Oh,
My
nice.
first clutch cutting is tomorrow, actually, of the year.
What's
That's-
that pairing?
GHI Mojave to lesser. So, best case scenario, I end up with GHI Bell, which is kind of what I'm hoping for. But
Is there is there an identifier for GHI under the bell?
not
Blacklight.
black?
Yeah, can you blacklight? Yeah.
Now, if you do like what, because Danny Poole did a pairing that was produced a super GHI, or not a super Mojave GHI hypo, and instead of the snake being all white, it came out like gray, like a steel gray. So something.
That's right.
So there's something I don't know how it worked, but somehow the GHI was brought through, I guess, with the hypo. I don't know how it worked, but it was definitely a visual that there was more than you could see what was going on with it. So hopefully, hopefully I just hit. If I hit one bell, no matter what it is, I'm going to keep it because. If it's a male, I have several females growing up that'll produce super GHIs or other, just blue-eyed Lucies to begin with. So,
how many eggs did you get?
She was first-time mom with 6 eggs.
So you should get at least 1, hopefully 2.
I hope. I've had several people say that they think it's gonna be like 5, like 4 or 5. I say, hey, I'm just happy.
Yeah. What isn't it like? What's the odds?
25, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But whatever I get, I'll be happy with it. But I did, in case anybody hasn't seen or doesn't follow my Morph Market, I have now 2 snakes on Morph Market for sale. One is a boa. So if you're in the market for a really killer boa, check that out. And then I'm going to do a shameless plug here.
Tim, I see you pop your head up. You like, boa?
Yeah, no. I'm bad, man. I just don't have enough room, and it breaks my heart.
And the other one is this guy here, leopard lesser spot nose adult male. He's 4 years old. I just put him up because one of the pickups I got this weekend puts me beyond what I need him for. So he's on the chopping block to go.
What do you have him listed for? Just curious. If you want to say, if not, that's cool.
It's 300.
300. That's a good price. You should snatch that, man.
I hope so. I mean, I talked to, because there's nothing like this on Morph Market that didn't have, I think there was one on there that was Het Clown, and it was considerably more money, of course. But there was no just, leopard lesser spot nose on Morph Market for sale. So he's the only one on there. Hopefully he goes, but if not, we'll see what I do with him then.
Yeah.
If he doesn't go, he'll be at Gettysburg show. That's for sure. Actually, want to come over here. I got my last clutch due to be laid any day, but she's still holding. She was due Monday, and it has not dropped yet. It seems like all of them are holding eggs this year, and they just don't want to give them up.
Yeah, I had a girl drop early, and it kind of surprised me because last time she went day 33. This year she went day 29. She did give me one less egg than she had last year, and the eggs were kind of smaller. But I was like, why'd you go early? It was kind of weird. Because usually when a girl goes, she usually goes on that same date or real close to that date. After a while, she just gets stuck on that. It was weird that she went so much earlier than she normally would. Maybe it could have been just temperature spikes or change in pressure or something.
Chad, to answer your question why I don't want to keep him, you have to kind of wait for the unboxing from the Gettysburg show. But since he's not Het Clown, I was going to have to breed him to a clown to get my hets. And what I picked up is a female that is Het Clown. So I have enough stuff built up here that either I have the visual Bumblebee Clown I can throw to this female het to do what I want to do with it, or I have other Het Clown stuff that I can throw into the mix and play the odds game and hopefully achieve what I want to achieve with it. So ultimately, with him not being Het Clown, it really don't have a purpose for him anymore, because he was supposed to be a she and ended up not being so. So I was gonna have to breed him to a female clown to get my het that I needed, and I don't have to play that game.
Yeah. So that actually brings a good question. How do you guys feel? I think it was on your show, Jeremy, that Billy said it. Instead of trying to breed to make your own hets of stuff, if you have the money, just go buy that instead of trying to breed to make that. How do you guys feel about that? I mean, realistically, if it's like Sunset Pieds, unless you have that money to go buy double head Sunset Pieds, you kind of got to make those. But how do you feel about the making your own heads for something, or just going and buying to push yourself further in that project?
I know it's not glamorous, but man, between space-time constraints, if I can buy it, I need to go buy it. Kind of deal. Now, Richie's Recessives was talking about on there, making sure you have backups. You never know if something's going to go. I bought an acid this year. I don't know if he's going to be big enough in, 3 months when I want to get going, or 4 months when I really 4 to 5 months. So there's a lot of good points in that. But yeah, if I have the space for it, and then I can have them drive the, cover the cost and revenue of selling a clutch kind of deal to get it instead of holding back that clutch for 2 years or a year, I want to buy it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I've kind of started to lean that way too. Just being around the people I've been around here lately, my mind frame's slightly starting to change as to like if I could afford to buy it, yeah. But some of these projects that I want to be in, I have the ingredients to do it. I just don't have the money just to buy into it. So I've gotta play the odds, the odds game on it, and just kind of take the long road slightly for a little while.
Well, and that again, I mean, to me, again, that comes down to finances. We'd all buy everything if we were millionaires,
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, so that's part of the game is what the sweat equity. But when you can buy it, man, yeah, I buy it.
Yeah.
How about you, Kai?
I agree. I mean, if your pocket can handle it, go ahead and buy it. And also, if what you're buying, what you're looking at is like a powerhouse male, then make sure you have the females lined up for it. I wouldn't buy like a $5,000 male and not have any females for it, because then he's just going to sit on the shelf while the market changes. So you want to make sure you have like at least 4 females that you can put her to.
Now, would you guys agree that with this situation, if your finances are on the tighter side, maybe your female be the one that's got the hets floating around in it and drop the big cash on the male that's a visual recessive of whatever it is with genes stacked in it?
I mean, the best is visual to visual, but if you need to buy the het, I would buy the het on the male side and keep the visual on the female side. Because if you think about it, like your female is the visual, right? And then you buy a het male, you have a pretty good chance of hitting a visual male from that clutch. And if it's a male, then you can put them directly back to the female within a year. But if you go the other way, you're gonna have to wait a lot longer.
Yeah,
that is a true point too. That is a very true point.
Yeah, and the chances are, I mean, even if the hatchling males that you want, you don't hit it, and it's still another het, you still have a good chance of having different codoms in that pairing. So if you have like if your female, let's say, is a spot nose clown, and your male is some powerhouse, yellow belly, orange dream, whatever het clown male, you have a pretty good chance of having more codoms from the hatchlings, or at least different variations of codom. So then you can still put that male hatchling in a year back to the mom, who's a visual. Right. So it's more strategic to start with the visual female, but in the long run, it all kind of equals out. Like after maybe 5 years, regardless if you started with the visual female or a het female, after 4 or 5 years, it doesn't really make a difference anymore. Because by then you'll have a visual female.
True.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Unless you get terrible odds every year. Oh boy.
He has to rethink his whole life.
I've got my fingers crossed that I think my double het female, at the rate she's going, I think she's going to be good to go for this season. Like, she is growing that quick. I think I will legit be in the running to make double visual Exantic clowns this season.
What year?
Nice.
She was last year's hatchling.
20.
And she's 20. Yeah, 21 season, and she's grown that much, dude. Like, she's creeping up on that 1,000-gram mark.
Wow. Yeah.
And like I know this is going to be really controversial, and you guys can jump in on this one too. Tell me what you guys think. But like talking with several people in our group, and like Austin, they're saying, a lot of people are saying when they hit that 1,000 grams, if they're eating good, throw like that 1,000 to 1,100 grams, throw a male in with them and see what happens.
Yeah, I don't have enough experience to speak to that. That's another place I think the ultrasound would really help. Kai, this is your first year using an ultrasound, right?
Yes, it is.
How's that been going?
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I've had a few false positives
Now, is that, well, I was going to say, is that user error? Obviously, it's not the snake.
Yeah, I was like, how do you get false positives?
Yeah, it's me. It's me because I made a video of it. Like, there's these lines that it produces when you do the ultrasound,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
sometimes when there's something horizontal and with those bars going vertical, it produces circles. And I'm like, oh, those are follicles. I'm so good at this. This is so easy. I don't know what everybody's talking about. And then it's like, wait, where'd they go? And sometimes I'll see things and I'm like, oh, I can't tell if that's a follicle or just a big poop. So
Which one did you go with? That Comtech
Yeah.
everybody does, or what do you recommend?
I don't remember the brand. I have to take a look at it, but I can send it
Did
to
you
you.
get it off of Amazon?
Yeah, I got it off of Amazon.
All right, how much did you spend on it? Did you get like the $1,200 one, the $2,000 one, or the
No, I got it. I probably got the cheaper one. Somebody sent me the link to it. But he said like it's really good, that it was easy to use, and that's kind of my concern with getting one is like, will I even be able to use it? And then one of my friends sent me the link to it. He said he was able to use it and it was very easy, so I went for it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
would you mind sharing that when you do it? Cool.
Yeah, sure. I think it's actually, if you look at the video that I made about the ultrasound, I think I put a link to it at the bottom in the description.
Okay.
Does it look like this?
Yeah, they all look the same. Yeah, it looks like that. It looks like that, yeah.
Or maybe I should open it. That would be better.
Right now, I was gonna say there before you look
Listen,
like you're like DJing, Gershon.
I've only looked at one ultrasound, so everything looks the same to me, all right?
Okay.
Yeah, because DJs always have that one.
Yeah,
head
it looks like that. It looks like a laptop with a screen and some buttons. Yeah. It was that color, I think. Grayish, dark gray, charcoal, something like that.
I'm back. So, yeah, that's weird because I know. Is your probe curved or is it straight?
I don't know what that means.
Just
It's linear. I think it's called linear.
Don't-
Linear probe. Is it curved or it's straight? I don't know, man. It's 5, I think.
Is it
I
flat?
think it's
This is
5.
reminding me of
flat?
an entirely different live stream.
It's supposed to be flat, right?
Yeah, you're supposed to have the flout.
So you're 100% new with the ultrasound. So yeah. Oh wow. So besides the false positive, other than that, how do you like it?
It's been working really well. I think I've been able to really utilize my males better just because of the ultrasound. So like my sunset, I went a little overboard. In the planning, not saying I did this, but in the planning, not saying that I actually paired them to all these females, but in the planning, I had planned for him to go to 25 females. And then after I wrote it all down, I was like, holy crap, he's never going to get through all this. So then I got the ultrasound, and even then I was like, maybe I should dwindle it down to like 20 and see if they're spaced out appropriately so that he's not going to all 20. He's just going to maybe like 4 per month, like every once a week, like that. But even then I was like, I don't think he's going to be able to pull through all the way to the end of the season doing this. So
Well,
so
what'd
I
you
think,
do, and how many went? How many females went? Like, how many did you have in that case study there?
I think he's still paired to 14 or 15 right now.
Wow.
Okay.
But I put backup males to 12 of those. So only the ones that I can't put backup males to, he's going to them primarily. But all the ones that he can do, because a lot of them are recessives, like pies and clowns and desert ghosts.
Right.
So in those cases, I'm just putting a visual male to them so I know which one sired that clutch.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
But then the other ones, like the Orange Dream Spider, Orange Dream B that I had, I couldn't put a backup male to her because, first of all, she's not recessive. And the only 2 backup males that I had were the Super Orange Dream because it's a super, and then the Super Pastel Hypo Clown because that's a super as well. But she has Orange Dream and Pastel, so it will still get confusing.
Yeah.
So she's so that in that case, only the Sunset went to her, and that's how I know that every baby out of that clutch is a het Sunset. But for the other ones, we'll have to see. We'll have to just wait and see. If I get any like visuals out of that, then I know it was the backup male that sired.
Right. Yeah. No, that'd be cool to see like how many. I guess you can't really quantify like who had the potentially stronger sperm if they're going head to head. But it'll be interesting to see how many clutches that Sunset could sire with the help of the ultrasound.
Yeah, I mean, 2 years ago, my pastel extreme gene clown male was like the primary male that I put to a lot of my females, and I had scheduled for him to go to 11 or 12 females, and he ended up siring 9 of them. So, and I didn't have an ultrasound back then.
Wow. What rhythm did you use when he was siren 9?
What rhythm? It's still once a week.
9 of them once a week? No.
No. One female per week.
Okay. All right. So, okay. No, but this is what I'm trying to get
That's
down
kind of my rhythm when I was out in Phoenix.
I know. This is this food and beverage restaurant life here I'm talking about, man. No, so on those females, they were only getting paired once every 9 weeks, like once every 2 months?
No. So some of the females I had historical data for. So if they're proven, I know around what time they're going to lay. I know what time to pair them.
Yeah.
So in those cases, I would only use him when the female got to about like 20 millimeters. I would still use backup males to get them up to size. So that's what works for me with the proven females. For the ones that are virgin females, I kind of just took a guess. I just put like backup males to them and kept that close eye on them and kept feeling them for follicles.
Right.
Filling them up.
At any time, he would probably, like within a 4-week span, he was only seeing 4 females.
Yeah, I got you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Once one female would get to the point where she was close enough to ovulation, she would be out of rotation, and then the next female would hop in and take her place.
Yeah. And how long do you stick with the 6 months after they lay is when you'll start pairing them, or do you go to like 7 months?
I started 5.
You started
actually.
5, okay.
At 5 months, I would put a backup male to that female just to get her started and see what happens.
Okay.
If she locks, that's great. Then I can start my countdown at that point, and just kind of gauge her reactions as to where she are in her breeding cycle.
Yeah.
But if she doesn't lock, then you just keep trying until she locks, and then when they lock, that's where you start the countdown.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
So did you change how many times you paired your males once you got the ultrasound? Did you change how many times you would pair a male to a female?
Yeah. I would use them less. It was like a female would get a male like once a month instead of every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then once she gets to like 22, 23 or higher follicular size, that's when I start using the Sunset primarily. And I'll tell you, it sucks when it's time to use that female. Like sometimes they're on average, their follicles grow 10 millimeters every month, right?
Yep.
But that's an average. Sometimes they'll like grow 1 millimeter a month, and then all of a sudden they'll jump 16 millimeters.
Yep.
And I had that happen a few times, and I was like, oh yes, now it's time to put that Sunset male. And I opened his tubby and he's in shed.
So you not pair males in shed when males are in shed?
No, they just don't seem to do anything. I don't know about you guys. Does the males lock? I mean, some males do lock if they're like in the beginning of the shed or near the end of the shed. But when they're blue and they're like all like frosted looking, they don't seem to do anything, and then that just kind of pisses off the female.
Yeah. I have one male that he doesn't care if he's in blue or not. If you've given him a girl, he's gonna go at it. So he goes regardless. Everybody else, I kind of like, okay, I'll wait. I'll give you another week or 2, and then I'll throw you in with a girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another trick that I found this season, and I was kind of testing it out last season, is that sometimes you don't catch the locks. So, and because I have more animals this year, what I would do is I would pop the males, but not like remove the sperm plug or anything, just pop them just to see if he has the sperm plugs.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll put him with the female. And after like 3 days, let's say I never caught the lock, I never saw it. When I take him out, I'll pop him again. And if one of the sperm plugs is missing, I know he locked.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's smart. Oh,
one of
that's
one of them went
smart.
in, right? One of them went in, and it's inside the female now. So he
Oh,
had locked with
that's
at least one of the
smart.
hemipenes.
That is smart. Yeah.
Damn. Where were you 5 months ago? I could have been doing that.
I don't know. I had clothes. I had clothes 5 months ago.
He was selling the shorts. He was
I
like,
could have told you.
Well, that's going to be added to the list now. Oh,
Guys, I got to roll. I got an early one tomorrow, man. I appreciate
All right,
it.
Adam.
Jeremy, thanks for hosting us, man. I got
all right, Adam.
No problem, Adam.
All right. I'll talk to
Yeah,
you
you
on
got it.
Tuesday night, man. I'll switch over afterwards and check out your show Tuesday.
All right, awesome, dude. Thank you. Appreciate it,
All
bro.
right. See you guys. Good to see everybody.
See you later, Adam.
Bye.
Take care, Adam. Yeah, I think we got to shut this one down too because I got to be up at 5 o'clock. And Gershon knows how
still have-
long I too. You guys both know.
I
how
got to get up at 6, so
I
I'm
can sit here and
an hour
talk,
after
and next
you.
thing you know, it'll be 12 o'clock. And
Very true, and I still got to
ice
feed
cream and lay in
snakes.
bed for a couple hours.
I got to save this shirt for the next conference call. So I got to keep it clean and fresh.
So before we all get off here, next Sunday is Sal from Gomez Pythons. And then on August 7th is Brian Gundy. We have him tuning in with us. So I don't know how long Brian can stay on. It's just an honor to have him coming on as well. And then on August 13th, we have Chip from Regis Fear of Pythons tuning in, going to join us then. So if anybody has not gone to Chip's channel and voted for his King of the Hill, do so as soon as we close this chat out. Go and vote. I'm going to try to find the link here quick. But go and vote. Check out Chip's channel. It's an awesome channel. I promise you, you will not regret it. But vote for one of those snakes, everybody. I mean, there's some killer snakes thrown up there. And Chip deserves a lot of support because he puts a lot of time and effort into those videos, and I think they're great. And it is true, you can win $100, folks. I greatly appreciate it for everybody that supported me when I was on it. I'm still surprised that I did win it. Yeah, I just greatly appreciate it, but it is a real deal. You do win $100 if you win King of the Mountain. So,
Oh, nice.
check it out because it's a free $100. I mean, hey, and all you have to do is post pictures up on Instagram. Hope one catches Chip's eye and get put onto the show. And you just got to get people to vote for you. Even if you have to bribe people, like Mark and myself did. Didn't really bribe too many people. My niece, all right. I told my niece, all right. I was like, my niece has been wanting a Warfels Morris shirt for a long time, and I didn't have any smalls. So I finally got my order in for the shirts, and I got a couple smalls, and one of them was for her. So I told her, because this was right when Chip put the video out for me for King of the Hill. I told her, hey, if you go to Chip's channel and vote for your old Uncle Jer, I say next when I come over on the weekend, I'll bring you a shirt. So my niece, she's one of those girls that if she does something bad, she'll rat herself out because she doesn't want to lie, but she's overly brutally honest. So her comment was like, I told her all I had to do is just say I'm voting for Warfels Morris or Uncle Jeremy or whatever. She goes through this elaborate thing. I don't really care who wins, but I really want this shirt. So she's like, I'm reading it. It's like, oh my God. It's like, really? So I had been talking to Chip after the whole thing had been done. And he goes, yeah, he goes, at first I thought it was like a prank or like he didn't think it was real at first. I was like, no, it's real. It's my niece. But it's like, oh, come on.
Oh, wow.
But definitely
you bribed her and she ratted you out in the same thing.
Yeah.
But she did get the vote in, so that it worked.
It did.
Has she got her shirt yet?
Oh, yeah. She had.
Okay.
Apparently, she was at a church camp this past week. And she says, she sent me a text. She says I owe her for free for because advertising doesn't come free.
Now she's.
How old is she?
Uh,
I love it.
she's I think she's 12 or 13. I'm drawing a real bad blank there. Dom's 15. I think she's like 13. I think she's 2 years younger than my son.
So she's super honest, but she is about her money.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, but I do want my money, so don't play with me.
I
You
mean,
said because of your comment, I got disqualified.
Hey, speaking of which, are you guys familiar with the change to the merch shelf on YouTube? I just learned about this the other day.
What is it?
Yeah, it's it used to be a 10,000 sub cap to have access to the merch shelf.
Yeah.
And they dropped it to 1,000.
Oh, they did. Oh,
merch
they did.
shelf.
well. So it's where you can like put your merch under your description.
They tie in with Shopify now. I just found this out the other day. I was holding off on getting like more shirts and stuff like that put together until I hit 10 grand because I wanted to tie everything into the channel, but they threw that on. So now I'm
gonna be
jumping
Googling
in
this,
my butt trying to figure out
learning
how I want to
about
work that
this.
stuff and the merch and everything coming on it. So
See,
and of course,
all
Jeremy, man, we play our cards right. You'll have your 1,000 subs in a few days.
Yep.
Dude, that would be, it would be awesome if it happened that quick. But I mean, if
You
I
never
get,
know, dude.
if I get a couple subs a day, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, you hit the right video. I think I hit one video, man, and over the course of like 3 days, went up like 250 subs.
That's how it happens sometimes.
I haven't seen anything like that happen.
You have one video go slightly viral, and your subs just go shooting up.
Yeah.
And,
That's why you got to get your son on TikTok. Get him on top of that. Put some TikToks out. Go viral on TikTok, and they'll come over.
After my live feeding video today, I'm probably going to lose about 250. Yeah, all right.
Those feeding videos do good, though. I mean, I don't know.
No, I didn't put one out. Telling people to stop. Especially with the bigger snakes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, doing live feeding with those guys, really discouraging that. And then, you know, those videos where people are just, you know, live feeding clickbait stuff, just watch lizards rip animals apart alive and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just really pushing to get people to stop that stuff and put us all in a better light.
I was gonna say, like they get massive views.
They do.
I don't get it. Like they get massive views, but I just don't get it.
They get because it's human. It's destruction. Humans love seeing something get destroyed. Unfortunately, that's the dark side of humanity at times, and they will watch that. Like, unfortunately,
I mean, there's less people that love snakes than there are people that
it's
do.
mostly people that hate snakes
translates
are watching
to everything else too. You know, fear and hate always run hand in hand, and the people that are afraid of the animals are the same ones that love to watch them get ripped up. You know.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them. So.
Congrats, John.
That's why the news is always bad stuff happening, right? They don't report. Hey, nothing happened today.
Right. I can't tell you the last time I saw a good news story. You know.
Oh yeah.
I remember when I was a kid.
Yeah, you used to see good stories back in the day.
Yeah,
tell you about an opening of a mall or something.
Yeah.
Wasn't there some article about even the Weather Channel, like before they used green and different shades of green to indicate, you know, rain or whatever, like chances of rain and stuff. Now they use like red and yellow and dark red to like make it look like there's like a nuclear bomb that exploded everywhere.
Right.
Pink. When you see the pink, that's the worst.
Yep, color manipulation. It makes sense.
Creators let the carpet get at me on camera a few times.
That'd be some views, unfortunately.
It would be,
It would be like, oh, he got bit. It'll circle around. People have to realize sometimes everything is not good content. Everything is not positive content. You have to understand some things you might not need to show.
Yep.
Yeah, especially with all the laws and stuff coming down. So that's,
Yep.
the people that don't own reptiles, they see things like that and it breaks their heart. They might have a pet rat and they see something like that. Now all of a sudden they don't like snake people.
Yep. Don't give them fuel to help take our animals.
Exactly.
Don't. That's not necessary.
So yeah, not everybody agrees with that position. So
true, and I get why they don't. It's hard to stop doing something that is making you money, realistically, and I understand that. But in the long run, that little bit of money you made from it, not being able to have those animals anymore, is a lot worse.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
For sure.
Way to end the live, guys.
I know, right? He's gonna be like, that bastard's not clicking on this again.
Is this over? I'm just gonna start taking this off now. Is this over yet?
Kai, your OnlyFans hasn't started. Calm down. Give it a second.
That's right. OnlyFans / Kai Naked.
That's how he's gonna work from home now.
That's what we got to do, man. Throw some booty shorts on and just jump around for 10 seconds and get 15 million views.
Oh god!
I think we'll get -15. I don't know if we're gonna get that many. It's gonna go in the wrong way.
I know, right?
Oh shoot! All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap this up, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're ending with 22 people. I remember at one point I was happy to see 22 people just hop into the chat to begin with. So it's awesome to see that many people hanging around after a 3.5 hour long live stream.
That's good stuff.
It's freaking awesome. I appreciate all the support, everybody. Thank you guys for all coming on here and hanging out with me. Tim, thank you a lot for making your debut on the channel as well. Kai, thanks for coming back. Krishan, thanks for coming back. Just hang on 1 second while I end this. Everybody, the video for this week is going to be part 2 of Chris's facility tour. So that way no one's left hanging and waiting, because the surprise you get from that is pretty awesome. And you get to see some spicy snakes. Some very spicy snakes, to say the least. So yeah, definitely make sure you watch that. And we have clutch cutting tomorrow, so that will be posted shortly, probably the following week. And Tuesday, 9:30, after Adam from Proper Royals, after his live stream, we're doing a mini, 30-minute long, maybe max, live stream where we're gonna pick out what egg and from what clutch that egg comes from for Chris from BNS Reptilias. Oh god, I just went blank. His donation to the 1K subscriber giveaway. Chris is donating us an egg, which he's got some of the clutches are being cut Wednesday, so we kind of are on a crunch time as to when to get this done, just in case one of those clutches was indeed the one hatching. And Nathan from Infinite Possible Pythons is donating a snake, so he'll announce that, and we'll announce what Danny from DTMG is donating snake-wise as well. Because, gotta say, what Danny's donating is, I was blindsided by that one. I was really surprised with that. So, super generous. Those guys are all super generous, and there's also some swag packs being given out as well, but we'll go over all that stuff on Tuesday. So make sure to check that out. But without any further ado, everybody, good night. Thank you again for tuning in, and we'll catch you all next time. Later.
Good night, guys.